Here we go.
You really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Hey, motherfucker. What do you like to do?
Oh, I don't know. Play chess. Screw.
Well, let's play chess.
They give off to Jonathan Taylor. Jump cutting his way close to the goal line. He's in there. Touchdown. I-N-D-Y. Jonathan Taylor.
Wheeler finds Clark from the logo.
Here's Halliburton into the front court. Mishandled it, but gets a shot. Hits it. Hits it.
John, I have never been better to be on the air with you here in Indianapolis, a place where so many of my dreams have come true.
The Ride with JMV on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, I feel like getting started on this Thursday. You know, whenever we're here in Greenwood, I don't know if it's just being in Greenwood or the fact we're here, but it is always a glorious day as it is outside on this afternoon in October. Thank you very much for joining us. We're at the Ale Emporium in Greenwood. So this is County Line and Emerson. You know the location. Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. Week 6 coming straight at you, and that begins with the Eagles and the Giants coming up later on tonight. So full-scale discussion on that. And we've got a lot to get to. I know Mike Chappell, per usual, in the 5 o'clock hour, and that's good because you got guys back and you got guys not practicing. No Grover Stewart earlier today. We'll see how problematic that is. Alec Pierce, kind of a similar set of circumstances as he went through a week ago. And then even more so magnified on the side of the Cardinals, Kyler Murray. And what looks to be like a dude that's not going to play. Thus, you will end up watching former Colts quarterback and former quarterback. And I know it sounded like I was being a jackass regarding Jacoby Brissett, and I wasn't. I just was being real about it. You can kind of dress that up however you want. But the Cardinals haven't been good here recently and have been doing themselves in, and having their multi-threat quarterback with a sore toe either out there and trying to play or just not out there at all is not a good thing, and there's really no way at all you can make that into a good thing. So that is problematic. We're going to go ahead and take this number, I think, as we can take it as quickly as possible. The Colts are 7-point favorites as of right now. So we better hurry up and get that number before it changes here, because it should be a strong performance as we anticipate for the Colts coming up on Sunday. That is week 6. That is the matchup with the Arizona Cardinals. And the Colts have positioned themselves to start the season at 4-1, really as best as anybody would have thought or you could have asked for. Clearly, had you not blanked up the game against the Rams a couple of weeks ago, it would look even better. But I think what you did in that game is, and I hate to say this because it's so lame, nobody's being taught. You didn't say, well, you know what, it took us to lose a game in that way to learn anything. But you do find out some things about your team that you can move on from, and hopefully they did that after that loss. And, again, it doesn't matter about the whole schedule and the softness. What matters is you take care of who you play. That's what matters the most, and that's going to matter again coming up against Arizona. And that's in here on Sunday at 1 o'clock. I have bullseye passes coming straight at you a little bit later on today. Before I get started, and Brent Holverson and then Casey here from the Ale is going to join, and you guys are going to join throughout the course of the afternoon as well, either on the stream, the text line, if you will, 317-239-1070, or that same number on the phone. It is a bummer about T.J. McConnell. And when Jake and I were doing the crossover, when we weren't kind of jacking around with music and all that like we normally do, brought to you by Love Heating and Air, I did want to get back to this. I don't ever look at a guy, what's TJ, 32, 33 years of age? When a guy that has that much energy and his entire game is predicated on that, his entire game, he is as good as he is because of how fast he plays, how hard he plays. Man, the hamstring injury concerns me. And I don't care if it's early, if it's mid, if it is late, if anybody out there has ever had a hamstring injury, a popping or a tweaking in the lower extremities, or a soft body injury, as it's commonly referred to now. If you've ever had that, you know, on whatever level we're talking about, you know exactly what I'm talking about too. I don't have to explain it. And you are describing a dude that plays that way. And he is as good as he is. He's that legitimate of a threat because of how hard he plays. So when I saw that in that first preseason game, I was bummed, and I kind of wondered. And, you know, Jake might be right about this. I mean, maybe you set the timeline as a month or even more just because you want to make sure. And I said to him, you want to make sure that he is healthy, and then he is even more than just healthy, if that makes sense. Completely back. Because if you really push this at all or come back at the wrong time, and I'm assuming that he won't, but with a guy that plays that hard, that level at all the time, that is something worth noting. And that does concern me. Campaign is in. And I saw DeLon Wright, man, the head-to-head situation the other night was a bummer. And then he gets stitches and gets waived by the Pacers. And Campaign is in here. I'd mentioned that a little bit earlier. Somebody had asked me, man, this is a cruel business. And, it can be, certainly. It is hardcore and it's a business. But you kind of wondered when Payne was brought in with his availability if there wasn't going to be something that is lingering, even more lengthy, with T.J. McConnell, and certainly it is. I do want to thank Greg Rakestraw for the past 2 days. I appreciate that. All your well wishes. Jasper, Indiana will never be the same. I dropped my phone, which was great, and I thought I just dropped it on the carpet. I dropped it on the carpet, and it's all FUBAR, and I don't have the passcode, so I got to wait. It's funny. It's a funny situation. I've got to wait until folks get back from Canada for me to get the passcode, so I'm working with a really whacked out looking screen right now. So I need my magnifying glass to see things. But no, it's all good. Had a great time there. Had a great time yesterday as well. But Greg, as he normally does, an absolute outstanding job. And we are happy with our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots to be live in Greenwood once again. And normally we come here and the weather is incredible. And it is again on this October day. And joining me, Brent Halverson of Heaven Hill Distillery at the Ale Emporium in Greenwood. How we doing?
Outstanding, my friend. Good to be back here, right?
Yes.
In beautiful, sunny Greenwood.
Last time we were on together, you were getting ready to go out to a little senior day.
I was.
Senior night in this case.
I was.
Did you get a little dusty, a little teary-eyed?
I tell you what, man, I did. That was a first there for the emotions that happen, right? Like
yes.
your little girls growing up in last
like
home
Billy
game.
Squire once said, your emotions were in motion.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. No, it was great. The girls played great. Won all 3 sets that night. Actually have their last regular season game tonight in New Pal. So right after this, I'll be jetting out to New Pal. And then sectional draw was last Sunday, and the sectional season's starting up. So we'll see how that all goes.
Oh, man, and highly competitive. Maybe the most competitive that we have seen. That sport has just been on the rise for more than a decade now.
It really has.
It's pretty top-level talent.
It's pretty fun to watch, and I can remember back in the day, and wasn't really my thing. I was baseball was my gig, but Lisa, as you know, she played in college, so she was all about it. And throughout the years now, I've found myself a big fan. So it's been fun to watch the girls grow up through it and come into their senior season. Then we'll get to do it all again with Sage for the next few years.
So how did we do last week on the picks?
You were 8-7.
8-7. That's above 500. I'll take it because it looked bad on that day.
Or you were 8-6. Sorry, 8-6.
8-6. I'll take that even more.
I was 500 at 7-7.
7-7.
Mr. Schleter stepped out a little bit.
Did he really?
11-3.
11-3 for Schleter.
And if you look at it, John, I was looking at a lot of these games too. I mean, look at these underdogs that were covering, right? He called that San Francisco plus the 8.5. He had Cleveland plus 4.5. Carolina plus 1.5. Denver.
Well, the Cleveland thing was a joke. I mean, that was the Cleveland thing was a bad beat.
A lot of those games were bad beats.
They're all bad beats.
Holy cow! Arizona.
Yes.
Buffalo. I mean, you could just go down the road.
Arizona's fumbling the ball and after an interception and kicking it into the end zone, and then
DeMarcado running across.
dropping the football, and his coach gets fined by the team for yelling at his player. Great.
There was a lot of bad beats last week, my friend, but that's the NFL, and that's the way things happen. So
that's why being 8-6 or 7-7. What am I on the season right now with that 8-6?
You are.
Do you have a tally?
Pretty good. I do. You are at.
Am I making everybody out there money?
You are. You're 46-32.
46-32, and everybody out there that says I don't know what I'm talking about can smooch it. 46-32.
It's pretty impressive.
I'm making money right there.
That is straight money.
If I had the what's to bet, which I don't normally.
So if you played $100 a game, you would be up $1,400. Lay off some juice, you'd be up $1,200.
How about that? Hey, by the way, there was a hook that beat us last week too. What was that? Because we mentioned the hook. It was a 3.5, and I think we got beat on a 3.5 somewhere. If I remember correctly, I should probably know that. I can't remember where it was, but I thought we all got beat on a 3.5. One of those hooks.
We did. I remember looking at that. I think it was at.
It might have been.
Was that Philly Denver?
Well, that definitely was pretty terrible too, because Philly started out incredible in that game and then failed miserably late in the game. So, I
don't know which one it was.
Yeah, anyway. All right, we'll get started and looking at the games in week number 6 coming up in just a second. But Casey is here as well with us from the Ale Emporium. If I remember correctly, a year ago, Casey picked and did an outstanding job.
She really did.
Now, unfortunately, Casey cannot pick here today, correct?
She cannot. She's got some obligations to step out to. But, Casey, it is a pleasure to have you back, and thank you for having us back. This is pretty awesome. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to have you guys here.
Wonderful. Pretty exciting because last year I think we were talking about a new upcoming new Ale Emporium that's going to be opening up, and I think you might have a little bit more to tell us where that stands right now, right?
Yeah, we're headed to the west side. We're headed to Avon. We're super, super excited. A lot of people have been asking. We keep telling them we're going to give them an update, and we're excited to say it's looking very good for early January.
Early January, okay, all right. So right around the corner, and you're going to be taking over as GM up there, right?
Yes,
look at that, well done. That's big time.
So many great things on the west side, and I'm kind of more in that direction. So been commuting for a long time, and I'm ready to be closer to home.
That's awesome. And I believe Michael is going to be joining us at the 4 o'clock hour to do some picks today, John.
Yes.
Who will also be going up there to work in Avon with you, right?
Yeah. He's been working here in Greenwood for, I believe, just over a year. So, he's learning what it takes to be in the back of the house and help run a restaurant.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we had a great time up with Tony and the Ale Fishers crew 2 weeks back.
Yes.
And, Tony kind of filled us in on a couple things as well, and then you had John poking him for things.
I was poking for information. I'm not going to put you on the spot today. I learned my lesson back then, and oh man, so too many people telling me stuff.
Yeah, well, I asked him. I said, "Am I allowed to even say January yet?" And he was like, "Yeah, I think that's fine." He goes, "But you might get asked a couple questions." And I said, "Oh no, I've already laid down the law on that."
You have laid down the law.
Put my foot solidly down.
Yes.
So this is a brand new build out. Your store's gonna be brand new, which is awesome, right? Taking over a brand new place. I mean, what you guys did here in transformation of the ale here in Greenwood is unreal. But to see what starts when you guys can take something from ground up is going to be pretty astonishing.
It's beautiful. And kind of to put it into perspective, here in Greenwood, we see on average, 325, 350 in total. We're looking at, right around 500 right now for Avon. So it's a big, big store.
Wow.
Beautiful patio. It's going to be enclosed, heated. And TVs every wall. It's beautiful. It's insane.
What does the Ale Castleton hold? Do you know what that number is with the 9th edition that's been added on there?
So I manage.
That makes it look like a college or university there.
It's insane.
That is,
yeah. So I'm not sure after the expansion what that looks like, and they have a brand new kitchen there. So
it's beautiful too.
It is. It is.
See, you're going to be able to trump it all now. You'll be like, oh, look at mine.
Yes, look at this. Look at this.
I love it. That's good stuff.
All right, Casey, and we're ready to go here. And then obviously you got Thursday night football. Got a busy weekend of college football here. You got IU and Oregon, which we're going to talk about coming up in a minute. Purdue, Minnesota. A lot of great football going on. This is the place here in Greenwood, is it not? This is it. I'm sorry. Yes, it is. It is indeed. Now, do you have any picks for us in closing here at all? Any thoughts on any of these games at all? Have you looked, or are you just too busy to have looked?
there's been a lot going on with everything with Avon, but the Colts have surprised I think everybody this season. So I'm just gonna focus on that.
Daniel Jones, 5th in completion percentage, 3rd in passing yards, 1st in QBR. I think you would take that and take that and take that, especially after the recent history of futility at that particular position. It has been something.
It's been fun to watch, that's for sure.
And hopefully that continues coming up on Sunday against Arizona. Hey, thanks for having us today, too. I'm sorry you can't pick. Michael will pick, but he'll pick with you in mind in the 4 o'clock hour, okay?
I'm here in heart.
Gotcha. Thanks, Casey.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Casey. Thank you.
That's Casey of the Emporium with us right here. Brent, I mentioned this, too. I do want to move. We got some baseball later on tonight. We got baseball yesterday. I thought it was an outstanding day of baseball in the postseason yesterday. We'll get to that in a second. But I did want to ask you, you don't have to do it right now. I don't want to put you on the spot directly, but you have number 7 and number 3 in Eugene coming up at 3:30 on Saturday afternoon. That's IU and Oregon. Have you thought much about that number? And I would like to have a pick on that a little bit later on, if you don't mind, because that is one of the most important games of the weekend, without question. But also in terms of IU, I'll just say this. With the expectations that people have for that matchup, there is a significant opportunity once again, as Indiana is always doing, and the Pacers know this very well. You always seem like you have to reprove yourself in some form or fashion. And IU football is going to try to do that against a very talented, very fast, very athletic Oregon team coming up on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, that's going to be a true test right there. I mean, they have looked great so far. And Oregon, man, that's going to be a tough place to go in. Eugene's a beautiful city, beautiful stadium. Wonderful, wonderful school there. It's going to be tough. I think the number's sitting at 7.5. I'll look and we'll tighten up on that number and we'll talk through that a little bit. But it's going to be a true test out there. I mean, got to love getting, if it is still 7 and a hook, I'd definitely take that hook. I think it's going to be a close battle. And I think I like the over. You got to like the over with a couple high-powered offenses there.
Now, the defenses can either defense stop the other offense, I guess, or who's going to throw in a stop here or there. And normally when a stop here or there, you're talking about that. You're talking about a turnover.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's the one thing, especially I'm not breaking new ground on theories here, but the one thing that IU absolutely has to stay away from is giving the ball and especially short field opportunities to an Oregon team that's as talented as anybody. And we just saw them. And I know not a great example right now because, you saw them 2 weeks ago to Happy Valley and beat Penn State, and then Penn State goes to UCLA with a huge hangover and travel, and James Franklin crying about that, and they lose to awful UCLA. So that example's not as good as it once was, but that is still as talented of a team as you're going to find in college football right now. So possessions, maximize it, and press the issue and hang in there and make things uncomfortable for an Oregon Ducks team at the end of a game.
And look what they just did to Penn State, too, right? I mean, they went in and beat Penn State, ranked number 3, and 30-24. So that was the most points that Oregon had allowed all year. So that defense is going to hold up. And, again, you're going to have 2 high-powered offenses there. So that'll be a game to watch, my friend.
We'll get your pick on that coming up a little bit later on, too. I'd mentioned Purdue and Minnesota at 7:30 from Minneapolis coming up. And you've got NC State. You've got number 16 Notre Dame, 3:30 coming up on Saturday. And then a lot going on throughout the state of Indiana. Now, Major League Baseball-wise, are you sitting back and you falling in love with it? I thought yesterday was absolutely outstanding. All the way around, you had some drama. You had some big moments. You had some big decisions. I think it's all what you want. And you had like 4 games on the day, too, which is thrilling. It was weird how the Tigers, or I should say the Mariners, got off early, and then the Tigers go late. Thank you, Casey. But, the Blue Jays closing out the Yankees. You get extensions with Schwarber and a couple of home runs, and one that he hit out into the Pacific. I mean, it was an absolute bomb. And you could tell that was a dude that had scuffled really at the end. I think he was 0 for 18 at one point coming out of the regular season and into the postseason. But you could tell that his lack of production so far in the postseason, that was something he was ready to bust out of because he did in a big way last night. So the Phils stay alive, the Cubs stay alive, the Yankees go home, the Blue Jays move on. And, obviously we're going to see a decisive game, number 5, with the Tigers and the Mariners as well. All good stuff yesterday.
A lot of great stuff. That Yankees game was pretty surprising, too, because they came back in 3, right, when that was just an amazing Yankee team that came out and did what they did. Judge hitting that big home run, take the lead, take the win, and kind of had a little bit higher aspirations. But that Blue Jay squad is pretty tough. And they've kind of owned the Yankees this year. So they're moving on, like you said. And then we got that Brewers-Cubs matchup. Brewers up 2-1 in that right now. I think that's going to be a very good game today as well. And then, the Phillies, they're down 2-1, but they did win one back in big fashion. Like I said, with Schwarber. And, man, it was all off Clayton Kershaw coming in on the 5th inning, I think, and it just got tattooed. Playoff baseball, John, I so wish that we had a little bit more action to talk about our Cincinnati Reds, but we saw how that worked out.
2 games, and there's zero way they're deserving of really competing with anybody that we have watched here in the last couple of days.
Yeah,
because we talk about the bats and the hitting. They don't have that. The depth of pitching, they don't have that. They were just kind of lucky to get the invite. You know what I mean?
They were.
It was like me in high school at the older folks. But if I was going to the class of 84 and I was just lucky to get the invite. I'm in 8th grade, and the class of 84 says, yeah, you know what? We like that kid. Let's invite him. I was just lucky to get the invitation, just like the Reds.
Well, you got to hope that plants a little seed for, hey, next year let's go a little further. Right? What do we got to do here?
We've hoped they planted a seed for like a decade and a half.
Well, I'd say it's been longer than that, but it has been a while. Think back to 1990.
So true.
Sweeping the A's. We're going to get back to that, right? But we need a little bit more pitching. We need to get that big 35, 40 home run guy on the team and some consistency. But,
let me see. I'm going to hold my breath until we see that. And
get
it
some
probably
breath in
won't
there.
be. So what do you like here as far as the series that remain, those advancing to both the NLCS? We have one rep in the AL right now. They await another. But both the NLCS and the ALCS, what do you like about potential matchups there?
Well, I tell you, I think it's going to be tough for the Cubbies. I would like to see the Cubbies move forward, but that Milwaukee squad's tough. I think they put it away tonight. I think it's going to be interesting. I think Glasnow and Sanchez pitching tonight for Phillies and Dodgers. I think that probably gets evened up, and then I think we'll see. I think LA is going to be the stronger team there to move on. And then, the Tiger game is the one that's going to be the thing, right? Because they're tied at 2s now.
Yeah.
You got Skubal pitching. He's going to be a tough one to beat. I see the Tigers kind of sneaking through there. So a lot of fun baseball left here, John. Like I say, with the Blue Jays moving on, they're showing their flexing their muscles right now.
That is Brent Holverson. More on that coming up, but I do want to get into the Week 6 picks, and that begins later on tonight with the Eagles and the Giants. We'll officially make them, and you can play along with us coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. We got that for you, but Brent and I on the other side with a little bit more on that. We should remind folks here at County Line and Emerson at the Ale Emporium, as always, you've got the samples that are flowing, right, Brent?
Absolutely. Come on up. We've got some wonderful stuff here, and again, some of the best wings you'll ever have are right here. So you can pair a nice Larceny and ginger ale with some Hermanaki wings. Maybe a little Lunazul tequila, some Deep Eddy vodka. There's all kinds of good stuff here. Come on up and let's have some fun.
Ale Emporium with the samples flowing on this Thursday. And again, it is great to be back. Thanks to Greg Rakestraw for holding it down for a couple of days. Here today at the Ale Emporium in Greenwood. Tomorrow, Sam's Silver Circle. I'll have Cardinals Colts tickets for you tomorrow on a Bud Light Blue Friday right over there by Fountain Square. Again, at Sam's Silver Circle. That is coming up on tomorrow's show. All right, 239-1070. If you guys got something to say, you go ahead and chime in. We'll take that. More on the college game as well. We'll get to our picks regarding IU and Oregon coming up a little bit later on. Mike Chappell with a rundown of those, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, that practice and those that didn't in front of this matchup against the Cardinals coming up on Sunday. Probably more focus on the other side with the status or lack thereof of Kyler Murray coming up on Sunday. Mike Chappell coming up at the 5 o'clock hour. Bullseye passes to give away as well. We got the text line moving as well at 317-239-1070. Dev's the engineer on site. Isabella and Chad doing promotions. Braden's here watching. James back at the studio. Brent and John have week 6 picks. We have samples flowing on a Larceny Bourbon Locks Luna Azul Tequila shots Thursday. Ale Emporium in Greenwood. The stream, the app, HD Radio, AAA, Membership Lounge. Become a AAA member today because you're going to embark on some journey, right, for the fall and your fall break. Become a AAA member if you're not. AAA.com today. 93.5, 107.5, The Fan.
Let me have a Diablo sandwich, a Dr. Pepper, make it fast. I'm in a damn hurry.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, I love the fact that the NBA preseason's back. I did want to give you a heads up on that. So you get the Thunder and the Pacers on Saturday, and I know it's the preseason. People will scoff at that. That's okay. But Brooks Barnheiser plays for the Thunder from Lafayette. Jeff, friend of ours, and his dad's the coach at Lafayette. Jeff, longtime friend of ours too, Mark Barnheiser. But Brooks has been seeing a lot of time and playing well so far. I think they've played 2 games maybe in this preseason to this point. And I think right now he's a part of a 2-way situation in Oklahoma City, but it should be worth noting with his presence coming up on Saturday night, as well as we officially get started with the Pacers in the preseason. That was bad news earlier today regarding T.J. McConnell. I'm not going to tell you it wasn't expected, because when you hear hamstring, especially with somebody that is rapid movement like that, that is never good. I don't want to say he's old because, no, I'm old. He's not old, but still, in NBA years, you get into your 30s at that position and you play that fast and you have a hamstring injury, that can be detrimental. So here's hoping that this is just a bit of a bump in the road and he gets back there and is as good as advertised, because, he's necessary. He's necessary. I still have a firm belief, and I'm not suggesting at all a preseason game where the starters were in their dress clothes by the end of the game should be something you should look at and play into your thought on a season. But to me, it's beyond that. I believe that this group can still play at a higher competitive level in the Eastern Conference. I firmly believe it. And with the minutes you saw in night number 1 for them against Minnesota, that did not at all persuade me to believe otherwise. But, man, you have to have guys like that. I've said that for a number of years, and then everybody finally started believing me regarding him being essential personnel on this team and T.J. McConnell when, every numbnut out there tried to trade him 19 different times. He is absolutely essential for the way that they play and what they do. So get back and be good to go when you get back as well. The hamstring injury for a guy that moves around like that can be tough. So here's hoping that he gets back and he is what you usually see in T.J. McConnell, because that is a must. Campaign is in here now. You remember him with the Knicks a year ago as well. Longtime NBAer, left-handed guard who was going to try to make this Pacers team right now. As I mentioned, they get OKC coming up on Saturday. Ale Emporium, we're in Greenwood today with the Larceny Bourbon Locks and the Luna Azul Tequila Shots Thursday. Thank you all for joining us today. The free samples are flowing. I'm a little bit late to the party right here. I think I'm like 35 minutes in, and there's no Larceny and no ginger ale out here, Brett. We got to talk about it with you, don't we?
We do, because that was my fault. I had a big meeting here.
I saw your big meeting right away. I walked in and sat there for 5 minutes before I even saw you in this big meeting. Big meeting.
Just doing some stuff to do some stuff, So
yeah.
But we're going to get you all lined up here.
I need lined up. The lined up needs. All right, you've been thinking about some things here. I want to double back. You want to do some college really quick before we get into some of the more interesting games in Week 6 of the NFL?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, what do you want to start? You got that in front of you right here. The college weekend that obviously is highlighted by a trip to Eugene and a battle of top tens between IU and Oregon coming up at 3:30 Saturday afternoon.
So I think that's going to, it's going to be a very, very big, huge game. They're both 5-0, like you said. It's going to be a tough game, right? I think this is a one. So right now Oregon's 7.5, and as much as I don't want to say it, I kind of lean that Oregon side right now if that hook wasn't hanging. But that being said, watch that line a little bit.
Is it more than just a hook, though? Is it maybe it's a home date, and that's why the hook is there. I mean, the home date, and you got a team that is fast, and there is still, again, this profound disbelief in IU football. It's just something, like I said, the Pacers, you're always going to have to prove and reprove until further notice. I don't make the rules. I just know how it works.
Absolutely.
And that's how it works.
And it is. I mean, again, that 12th man being at home is going to be huge for Oregon. That's something that, I wish they were playing in Bloomington because that would shift that whole gear, right? I mean, it would be a whole different story. But if you look back, and we just talked about Oregon going into Penn State and getting the W there, very close game. Very close game, but they came out on top. They've got a good squad. Like I said, they're fast. I think it's going to be a higher scoring game. I like the over. It's probably my favorite play. And, of course, I'm going to take that hook with me. I'd ride those Hoosiers, but on the outskirts, looking at things, I mean, that's an Oregon game to lose.
I like IU's opportunity to make Oregon work defensively.
Absolutely. That's what you want, right?
From quarterback and veteran wide receivers, from Surratt to Williams. I mean, they've got veteran guys that I think that are going to make Oregon's defense work. And that's why I say, to me, it's going to come down to who gives the ball away and then who takes advantage of those giveaways. And those that protect are those that I think are going to end up winning this game.
That could be the determining factor.
I think also on the other side, you've got basically, don't get me wrong, I mean, there's a lot of the world that aren't buying into IU too. And, a lot of that world is going to be in Oregon this weekend too, saying, you know what, this IU thing, no trouble here, and just kind of moving on. Very talented team is Oregon, very fast and very athletic. But
it's your time to shine. You want to play the best.
Trying to prove.
You want to play the best because then you're going to stop some of those doubters out there, right? They've got the squad. They've got the coach to do it too. I mean, that's what I love. They just go after him. So it's not going to be.
He is very enjoyable. There's no question about that. Yeah.
They could be up 100-2, and he's gonna yell at you if you do something wrong. He's going to get in you. So
no, he has been perfect, and people like me had thought for years that they were never going to be, and really I've thought about that in terms of basketball here recently too. Well, they're never going to be what they once were in basketball, and they're never going to be in football. And they're well on that path now to be what you're looking for in football. And we'll see if Darren DeVries can turn the tide on what they have been mediocre or less here in recent history in basketball. But I always thought, I don't know if they're ever going to be able to stir the echoes in basketball, and we'll see if he can do it. But, man, taking this football program to a level that I think most of us never thought it would be has been impressive. And that's not easy to do there. You have to have a lot of people pushing in the same direction and the right guy as a head coach doing the substantial laboring there. And that's exactly what Kurt Cignetti has done.
Oh, it's what he's brought. You're spot on there. I mean, how exciting would that be, right? If IU basketball with NCAA Final Four is home here this year in 26. So, hey, let's kind of walk through some things and get through. But if we get both those programs up and running, something we've never seen right now. I mean, honestly, John, that's something like you just said. Whoever would have thought you could take a football program that really just didn't have any pump behind it and completely turn it upside down. That is what Mr. Cignetti has done, and it's going to be exciting to see him continue. And then hopefully we get that IU basketball right up there with him.
All right, what else we got there? We got that game in Oregon coming up at 3:30 on Saturday. By the way, I think that's on 93 WIBC coming up on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, a couple
with IU and Oregon. What else we got, Brent?
A couple big games, though, to start the slate, 12 o'clock games. You got Ohio State, number one, against Illinois, which is sitting at 17 right now. Of course, the only loss that Illinois has was to our Hoosiers.
Yeah, in like a beatdown type of fashion. A beatdown.
And that number is sitting at Ohio State's a 14-point favorite in Illinois. Again, there's some spot-on numbers there. I mean, I think that's kind of where that game is going to end up and land. But it's going to be a good one to watch. And then another one I like, you got number 8, Alabama at Missouri, also at 12 o'clock. And I look for Missouri to win this game outright. I think Missouri is going to win it with that 12th man at home. Alabama's 4-1, Missouri 5-0. Missouri's got a football program this year looking pretty good. So, and then we've got Notre Dame, which I am not sold on whatsoever.
There are a lot of people still very sold on them, even what that defense has shown more often than not this season.
Yeah, and they're playing NC State. Notre Dame's a 23.5-point favorite, I think, is the number I just saw. But that's, again, I'm not sold on them yet. I'm not going to touch those games because until I see them kind of turn the corner a little bit. Yeah. But there's some great football, and we also got the Ball State Cardinals on there. I saw they were playing at 3:30 as well against Old Western Michigan.
Yeah.
Little MAC action right there. So Ball State's not really something we'll talk about a whole lot with football, but we'll move on from there and. Yeah, looking forward to it. Big day Saturday, and then again Sunday is going to be great. We've got more bye weeks that we're talking about that we're going to have to navigate through. You're going to take your stellar against the spread pick record and put that online.
I'm feeling good there.
You are, man.
That's the best. I think that's the best I've been in a long, long time.
Hey, keep it up, man. Keep it up. I'm fade.
Right there, yeah.
I'm fade material.
Somebody's got to sit there, buddy. Yeah, go ahead. I'll write that. So, yeah. But somebody's got to sit there and make picks a little bit later on.
It's been an interesting season in the NFL, so looking forward to talking about that at here in the next 4 o'clock hour. So
now Thursday night football starts with the Eagles and the Giants. Is that where we begin with?
It is
of interest this evening.
It is. I mean, that's again on the very top looking down.
Yeah.
He looks like Philly should just run with this one. But the New York Giants are very decimated right now with running back and receivers out, and I mean, losing Malik Neighbors, poor Jackson Dart, that would have been a nice 1-2 punch for them to get started on. And I think Darius Slayton's going to be out, so you're going to be looking at a lot of Wan'Dale Robinson. It's going to be interesting. But Philly sitting at 4-1, they just haven't looked all that great. I mean, they had a great lead, looked good last week, and then crumbled. Right? I mean, it was just fell down. So that's where we're going to start tonight. We'll start talking about that, and then we'll roll through the Sunday games. And we've got an early. Another across the pond game. It's kicking off at 9:30. We'll talk about with Broncos and Jets. And then we've got
the Vikings get to come home.
The Vikings finally get to come home after 2 weeks, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
get to get away from Europe and get back to the United States.
It's really, I mean, for them it's good, but to be over there for 2 weeks and be able to have a bye.
You should almost have 15 bye weeks after that.
You might have to. There's a little bit of time change, but and then we got another double Monday nighter. I do like these double Monday nighters.
I do too. I'm a big fan of that too.
But they're pretty close, they're pretty close in time, 1-7-15, 1-8-15. But, pretty good slate out there. We got the return of the Green Bay Packers. They're going to be playing the Cincinnati Bengals in Lambeau, and a big old fat number starter with Joe Flacco as the new quick starter. Quick turnaround there. He's got 3 days to learn the playbook.
And we saw a lot. And I think we've seen enough of Joe Flacco to – I don't know. I understand if you're the Bengals, you're trying anything right now. You're trying to salvage anything you can because of the loss for the amount of time with Joe Burrow. But how is that? I mean, how is that a solution? Because you've seen it not be a solution so many times now. What would make you believe it can be one there?
Well, I think
I know you have a dynamic wide receiver, if not one, and the other with Higgins
too. You've got two of them. So really it comes down to you're not going to have time to digest the entire playbook. You got to come up with a good 5, 6, 7 plays that he's going to be able to dive in on and be able to make those calls, being such a veteran back there. He's been around for a while. He's been on a lot of teams. He's got some playmakers to work with, and he's got a good arm on him still. But he hasn't looked good this year. He didn't look good last year. Here's how I look at it, John. You're not doing anything with Browning. He's just not going anywhere. You're not getting any activity going on. You're getting a guy that's going to come in there that has all of that experience to be able just to say, hey, let's go play some backyard football.
Yeah.
Let me draw it out of my hand like we used to out in the field, right? Like, go down to run a post tee. Go down and run a curl. Go deep, Jace. That's how it's going to get. I think it'll be interesting. And big fat number, 14-point favorite Green Bay Packers. It's going to be interesting. Hopefully they're coming off of a bye and going to be refreshed and not pull another Cleveland Brown game.
The Colts get Arizona. We're going to watch the whole situation with Kyler Murray. Mike Chappell joins us in the 5 o'clock hour. Kenny Moore II, the Achilles. Tyler Goodson has a groin situation. Grover Stewart with an injury too. Did not practice earlier today. Alec Pierce trying to get past concussion protocol. Tyquan Lewis was back today with an illness he had yesterday. And Braden Smith rested yesterday. Those three all did practice a little bit earlier today, and that's going to be a part of our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Zol Tequila Shots for week number 6, with Arizona and the Colts. As of right now, 7-point favorites at home are the Colts, and we'll do those games with Michael here at the Ale Emporium coming up here at the top of the hour. The stream, the app, HD Radio. We've got more on tonight's pivotal performances in Major League Baseball, what to look out for as well. More on the college game and the NBA preseason. We have a new on the inbound Team USA head coach, which is about ready to officially be announced. We'll do that as well coming up on the other side. Week 6, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Zol Tequila Shots, Ale Emporium. We are in Greenwood on this glorious Thursday. Don't go anywhere. Keep it right here. The samples are going with 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
got a joint? No, not on me, man. It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, welcome back to the Emporium in Greenwood. I'm John. Thank you for joining us. Dev's the on-site engineer, James Bagg of the studio. The Thursday night, I guess you want to call it the night, it's kind of a weird schedule. Phillies and Dodgers, that is a game number 4 coming up later on this evening as the Phils try to pull even. Man, they just ran away and hid with the long ball last night if you watched that. Down 2-1. Dodgers and Phillies at 6:08 from Chavez Ravine later on tonight. So that's 6:08. And then you get the Brewers and the Cubs at 9:08 tonight. So the Cubs trying to stay alive and force a decisive game number 5 in the NLDS. Brewers and Cubs from Wrigley at 9:08. Yeah, there's nothing really to debate or cry about anymore because the scheduling always has to do with markets and who's watching and where the numbers are and so on and so forth. But that is it coming up later on tonight. So if those of you had to stay up until around or a little bit after midnight to finish off the Phillies and the Dodgers, you do get an early one at 6:08. But Cubs fans will be staying up late. That first pitch is around 9:08 coming up later on tonight with the Brewers and the Cubs. In game number 4, Brent Holverson rejoins right now. Any thoughts on either one of those NLDS matchups later on tonight? Trying to do what Seattle and Detroit are doing tomorrow.
Yeah, I think Philly is going to even it up, and I think Milwaukee's going to close it out tonight. That's my I actually like Milwaukee a little bit, quite a bit, enough for me to put a little wager on tonight.
They made some Cubs fans nervous. I think Cubs fans are just kind of born nervous, but like Reds fans are just born sleprockish. But I mean, Cubs fans were a little bit nervous last night, but they sidestepped it and got it done, and that's good, man. Watching the Phillies take hold of that, you kind of wondered when some of their guys were going to start raking a little bit because they have way too much polish in that lineup not to get it, and they got a little bit of it last night for real, didn't they?
They really did. I mean, it's, again, it's just this time of year is so exciting, right? October, you've got, all kinds of things going on. We know we have the NFL, we've got NCAA football going on. We got baseball playoffs, and there's nothing more exciting other than the Reds. I wish they were still in it, but that's going to be something we're going to put in the past. And again, playoff baseball in October is pretty exciting. A lot of fun stuff to watch. Even the pitching matchups, right? Yeah. You got them going to the bullpen, and everybody pitching 2 innings or an inning here, 3 innings there. You look at Suarez last night. He looked great. He was good. He came in for 5 innings.
He was good.
And, he just looked sharp. So it's really a mathematical game at this point. You're playing to win because you don't want to go home. And that's kind of what you pull out all stops. So that's what I love watching playoff baseball. And you see some of these great performances like Schwarber last night. Just pretty fun to watch.
And then a missed opportunity on a potential double play with Jazz Chisholm for the Yankees that leads them down the path of being done for the season as well, man. You can connect or make a play here or there and see what happens.
Big-time players make big-time plays, right? That's what it's all about. And if you don't do it now, you'll be watching everybody else do it come the rest of the month here.
Yeah, those of you asking, Giannis, according to ESPN, is going to explore this summer trade options because he does not believe where that Bucks team is right now. They are highest level competitive, which is the reason why Miles Turner left, because he believes that they are highest level competitive. So weird. So weird. You get the Bucks situation, one or the other right there.
There's a lot of going on.
There's a lot of moving parts. I imagine that Miles is going to be there by himself here relatively soon, and then trying to compete with that. Hey, by the way, the spreadability of Win Schuler's available for you. Original sharp cheddar, bacon and cheddar, and jalapeno pepper. Win Schuler spreadability. I know you can find it at Central Indiana Meyer locations. You can find it at Gordon Food Service, not too far from where I program right now, but just make sure that you find it because it should be in your snacking regimen, whether it's a tailgate, a party, maybe a fall gathering, or just you on the couch watching a little baseball or football later on tonight. The spreadability at Wynn Schuler's. Find that in your favorite grocer's refrigerator today. Our Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots coming up next. Be ready for it. Week number 6, 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
With JMV.
Are you kidding?
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
If you could tell, these last couple of songs, it's One Hit Wonders weekend. I think it'll be 105.7, so we'll do a lot of One Hit Wonders on Saturday night. Hey, Jane Child, Chumbawamba. So, Brett Halverson rejoins. Ale Emporium in Greenwood, love to see you here. We're going to get started on the sampling going with our Larceny Bourbon Locks Luna Azul Tequila shots coming at you week 6 as well. So, Blake is in Windsor right now, apparently in the Caesars Casino.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a
Windsor.
good place to be.
Yeah.
What's he doing up there?
He just wanted to go. Yeah.
Just on a whim. I miss those days.
I get all these pictures of all this Canadian beer he wants to bring home for me. And I go, it's got to be 90 calories or less, or I ain't drinking it.
You say after that?
No, I'm not drinking it unless it's 90 calories or less, buddy. But, nah, he's at Caesars. I think it's Caesars in Windsor, right? Is there a Caesars in Windsor? I'm assuming
There's
so.
a lot of stuff in Windsor. I've been over there before.
I don't know that if he's going to the strip clubs. Those are big deals up there, aren't they?
From what I hear, John, they are.
Can somebody do this on the text line if you like, too? Let me know. Has anybody ever been to Windsor, and is that the main attraction there?
I know a lot of people from Michigan kind of run over there every now and then because you get out in a different appeal
I just thought
of
that they were
things.
trying to get away from Michigan.
Well, I think there's a couple different reasons.
Is there a
up
couple of different angles on how you want to quickly get away from the state of Michigan? But, yeah, I didn't know. Is that the Caesars and then the clubs that you mentioned? Right. It's certainly not the Canadian beer. Is there a Canadian beer that you like? Do you like any Canadian beer?
You know, I guess I would have to throw out a little Molson every now and then, maybe. I don't know.
We grew up in the era of Molson Golden.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Molson
I do.
Golden?
Absolutely.
You don't see it so much anymore, but evidently there's a Moosehead Light that I think I could.
Moosehead was one I used to drink back in the day.
Moosehead Light,
yeah.
and obviously Labatt's Blue Light. I drink as well.
I don't know your calorie intake on those. Are they got to be similar to the?
I want to say Labatt Blue Light is around 105, maybe 100 to 105. I've got most of these memorized right now. So we're not going to go too. We're not going to get too far above 95.
But you know, if here's how I look at it, John.
Yes.
If you're going to sit down and have a 90-calorie beer, and you have 15 of them, that adds up, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be the issue, right?
Harley Deed tells me that there's a Cheetah's location up there. I don't know if he's at Cheetah's.
Huh. I'm not sure really either.
That's where we had my bachelor party in Vegas back in 2000. It was at Cheetah's. Ooh. We still have some fond memories of that. I'm glad that there are no pictures present of that. Nobody didn't have cameras that easy back then, did we?
Probably a good thing.
The old Polaroid was good right there. Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, Ale Emporium, samples flowing here. Free samples is what we have for you of the products, which are robust here. Heaven Hill Distillery products, aren't they?
They are, absolutely are. JC's on her way out, and Tori, I think was her name. Tori's going to be taking care of
love
it.
it.
She's got a couple Larceny Gingers coming over the table. We've got a Luna Azul and soda coming over this way as well. We've got plenty to be had, so definitely come on out and wave us down.
Corey Kinney tells me that he may not come back the same from Windsor, Canada.
Well, you know what? That's what happens in Canada stays in Canada, right? I guess that's a new saying.
Yeah, Rex Hampton says, my friend, can confirm Windsor is legit. That's where he is. He wanted to go.
From what I hear, that is the place to go.
It's weird. So he goes to Windsor, Canada, and I go to stinking Jasper. I don't know how that shakes down the way that it is.
You like to keep it local, right?
So Michael is here from the Ale Emporium. Michael, good to see you, pal.
Hello, Michael.
How we doing, buddy?
Doing very good.
Are you ready to make some picks with us today?
Yeah, I'm excited to get started.
So I hear you're going to be going to the new Avon store, right? Coming up, sounds like maybe first of the year-ish.
Yeah, that's what we're shooting for.
Okay. Are you excited about that?
Oh, yeah, very excited. We can't wait.
And you've been here for, a little over a year then, right? So you've kind of got all the knowledge you've soaked in, and you're getting ready to take it on to Avon and show the West Side what the ale's all about.
Absolutely.
I love it. Well, I will tell you, you've got a good one in Casey that's going to be running that show over there. She's an absolute sweetheart, and it's an honor to be able to work with great people in the industry. So, again, looking forward to working more with you, my man, and excited to have you join us today, do a little picks here. Are you ready to rock and roll with some NFL football?
Does anything stand out? Don't make your picks right now, but does anything stand out to you on that page before you?
Yeah, I like this Lions Kansas City game. This Detroit.
That's going to be a big one right there. Absolutely.
Because I almost think we thought last week was awful. I think this week is equally awful. Am I not right about that? I think it's awful too.
I love this week, actually.
Do you really?
I do. I hated the last 2 weeks.
I thought last week was terrible, and I think this week is terrible.
You know, my picks in the last couple of weeks have shown how much I hated them, and hopefully my feeling on this one is a little bit different because I do like a lot of the games here. And there's some interesting numbers. We got some bigger numbers out there too, which, you know, last week we had a bunch of 1.5 point spreads.
Right.
A bunch of over teams playing each other. And
you get some big fat ones up in here, don't you?
And there's a couple out there. I mean, a lot of sevens, little 7 and hooks hanging out there, and then that big 14 spot hanging over that Green Bay game.
I think about this. You talk about the Green Bay game, and that's with the Bengals, and Joe Flacco has been installed now as the starter. Man, if you go out there and you lose by more than that number, if the Packers cover, what an absolute disaster even jacking around with that would be. I think. Right?
Yeah.
So Vegas clearly thinks that Flacco is going to stink out loud with that number.
Yeah, and you got to look at it this way. I mean, everybody kind of looks at what they saw last, right? They have not been putting up points. And again, that was Browning. But then you look back to Flacco's last couple games. It was bad enough for him to get benched, and they moved forward with Gabriel, right? And so he's not gotten the best track record. He's a 40-year-old quarterback out there. But, Aaron Rodgers still showing you can do it. Tom Brady showed you can do it. He's got the experience, I think, is what they needed. And, the Bengals, they need to do something right now because they're sitting at 2-3. And without having, Burrow, there's a chance Burrow can come back early, mid-December. But he's not coming back if they're 3-11, 3-12.
Well, and you get it. They're trying to salvage, and I'm sure, at least in the short, that's going to make everybody happy. But with a number like that, I don't know what expectation anybody has, including Vegas.
That number right there is just showing you the market, right? I mean, you got a lot of people want to bet the Packers. That's a big number in the NFL. I don't care who it is. We talk about it all the time. We've seen Buffalo. They don't cover numbers, but they win games. Most of the time, except for last week.
I don't know if I'm comparing the Bengals right now with. But
I'm just saying the number when you're saying about the number coming out.
They don't cover.
But I think what the Bengals are doing, they needed a change for not only the team, the fans, give them some kind of a little bit of a hope because they haven't gotten that out of Mr. Browning with what they were doing. So I think it's going to be you got somebody with some experience. Again, not going to have a lot of time to learn their plays. He's going to go out there and just take control of it. I think it's going to be interesting. We'll talk through it. I'll pass my 2 cents on here when we get to that game.
Are you ready to go?
Absolutely ready.
All right.
Michael, you ready?
Yeah. Michael's ready. Ale Emporium in Greenwood. James, can we cue the band for our Week 6 selections? Thank you very much. Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. Week 5 starts later on tonight, 8:15 Prime Video. The Eagles average just 73 yards per game the last 3 weeks. But Saquon Barkley's 39.7 per game in that stretch. As they say, that ain't getting it done. 176 for Barkley against New York in Week 6 a year ago. And Jackson Dart gets his first prime-time start. Will that be enough? Because you look at the Eagles, they are 7-point road favorites at New York. I think the Eagles are going to flex a little bit and especially defensively get after the rookie quarterback. Go ahead and bury that 7 for me and give me the Eagles. Brent.
I normally would not take this pick that I'm going to take, John, just due to this division matchup, the heat of it all. But I am going to lay that number with you here, and I normally hate doing that. Most of these games are usually pretty close and tight, but the deflation of what Philly has been playing at, I think they're going to elevate their game. Like you said, what Saquon did, he's going to take control against his old team, showing what he still has. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game, and I think the Giants are just too decimated all across the whole field, right? They've got a lot of injuries out there. They're down to their 3, 4, and 5 receivers. I think it's going to be. I'm going to call this one. Let's go 24-20.
You're all over it with that. I like it.
Yeah. 24-7. 24. Where am I at here? I'm over it. Yes, I am over it. 27-17. Philadelphia covers the 7. How about that? Let's get it out there. That was stuck.
Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. We intro from the Ale Emporium in Greenwood. Michael with his pick. Michael?
Yeah, I think Philadelphia is going to get it together. They've had some slow weeks. Their offense hasn't really been going like they would like. I think they're just going to get it done tonight. I like them to cover that 7 and to put the Giants away tonight. I like them at 28 over the Giants at 13.
Week 6 picks, Broncos and Jets, part of the London games. The Jets are the only winless team in the NFL. Justin Fields sacked 5 times in a Week 5 loss to the Cowboys. That was UGLY. The Jets do have an alibi. They stink. In London, that's a big number, I think, for a team in London. There you go, buddy. A team in London right there. I think that's a big number. However, I'm going to go the way the Jets are playing right now. I'm going to go ahead and lay that number. 7.5 is it. Give me the Broncos, Brent.
I think this is going to be one of those games that's going to come down to, I do think the Denver Broncos win the game. I don't think they cover. I think the Jets come out and get the cover. They're sitting at 0-5, but that's 7.5 right there. I think Denver wins 23-17. Give me the hook for the cover. New York Jets plus 7.5.
Michael from the AL South Side. Michael.
I like Denver's defense. I think they're going to give the Jets a lot of problems. I like them to cover that 7.5 at 24-14.
Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. Yeah, indeed, we're hanging out in week number 6. Again, thank you all for joining us. I look at this game. The Rams and the Ravens, you got to go across country, but the Ravens are an absolute injury-riddled mess right now, and they look like that they're not going to make it in the AFC playoffs. I know that on the back end of this season, their schedule gets a little bit easier, but it is problematic, and we'll see. Lamar Jackson, his situation still kind of lingers with the hammy. I haven't seen as of press time if he's going to be back. I know as of what I saw, it was still in question. I didn't see today. So we'll just presume right now that they're still on the fence with that until further notice. But I was going to go ahead and take the Rams anyway. I'll bury my third consecutive 7, if not 7+ number right here. I'll take the Rams on the road, bury the 7.5, Brent.
Yeah, another tough game right here until we know who is quarterback, right? But this line kind of indicates where it's at. But I will say Baltimore's defense has looked horrible. That Rams team has a lot of firepower, but I don't think they have enough to put it away and truly cover this 7.5. Again, I think they win the game by 7. I'm going to bet the hook comes into play here. Give me the Baltimore Ravens plus 7.5 as a big home underdog.
Michael, what do you got over there?
Yeah, I think the Rams are going to cover that 7.5. I think they're going to give Baltimore's ailing defense a hard time. I really like Puka, so I think that we're looking at 28-10 Rams.
Javonte Williams, 135 in yardage performance for the Cowboys last week. We documented how they had an easy one on the road at Carolina. And then how about Carolina, the way that they're feeling last week? I think the Cowboys are starting to find themselves just a little bit right here. I mean, this game probably is maybe a 6-point winner for the Cowboys. Lay the 3.5. They're the road favorites. Give me the Cowboys on the road. Brent?
It's actually 3, John. So Dallas is a 3-point favorite, which you got to like losing that hook. You're only laying 3. You're not laying that hook, which gets dangerous in the NFL. I agree with you. I think Dallas, the way they've been playing here, and Javonte has been playing, running the ball really well. You look at Rico Dowdle, what he did last week, though, for the Carolina Panthers' little coming out party. Still waiting to hear what the running back situation is going to be there. I think Dallas is a little bit too much firepower. Their defense is not good. I think this is going to be a higher scoring game. I think Dallas wins 31-24. Hit the over and take Dallas, lay the 3.
What do you got, Michael?
Yeah, I think Dallas is going to be too much for the Panthers. They just look like they're really hitting on all cylinders. I got them winning, covering the 3, 28-20.
Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. This one on Fox at 1 o'clock on Sunday. The Seahawks are 2-0 on the road this season, and Sam Darnold is playing some really good football at quarterback for the Seahawks as well. 73.1% completion percentage, which actually is better than his counterpart in this matchup, Trevor Lawrence. I know that a lot of folks kind of think that the Seahawks can get it done on the road. Vegas has the Jaguars 1.5-point favorites at home. I'm going to go ahead and take the favoritism with the Jaguars coming off that win on Monday night. Give me Jacksonville over the Seahawks, Brent.
Just for a hot second here, I want to taltalk about that game Monday night.
Why don't
Did you see the very last play? What in the actual heck was going on there, right? Number one, Lawrence falls back. He gets down. He falls back again. You got Chris Jones standing there. He did not move. He watched everything happen. It was almost a little fishy for me, John. I didn't really like that.
You were fishiness, huh?
I think there was some fishiness there. I honestly do. I've looked at that play several times.
Chris Jones is a great player, but he does often pick and choose when he wants to play with great effort.
He literally stood there and could have
he
gone
picks
right
and
in
chooses.
there. Well, you should choose when it's the last play of the game.
I know, there's
you don't have any
doubt,
time.
yeah.
They didn't have any timeouts left. He's got to shoot the back there.
I'm not defending it. That's just how he has been. Great player, but he will pick and choose situation in which he will exert effort.
He definitely chose not to exert on that one. However, let's get to the game on a hand here. Seattle Seahawks at Jacksonville Jaguars. I think Seattle goes in and wins the game outright. I'm going to take Seattle plus 1.5. Seattle Seahawks 24, Jaguars 20.
Michael, what are you thinking about over there, pal?
Yeah, I actually had the same thing. I had 24-20, Jaguars taking the game and covering that 1.5 points.
Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna's Old Tequila Shots on CBS at 1 o'clock on Sunday. The Chargers and the Dolphins. The Chargers, man, they are averaging just 14 points per game in the last two. They have key offensive injuries. We know that. Both tackles are out, including Joe Alt, left tackle extraordinaire right there. We know that to be true. But the Dolphins also in a free fall under Mike McDaniel. Worst run defense in the league. I guess that may be good because the Chargers are almost out of running backs right now, the way that it goes due to injury. The Dolphins get 4.5 points at home. Are the Chargers going to bounce back on the road? I don't think so. Give me that 4.5 and give me the Dolphins at home with no other reason other than the Chargers are just so incredibly injured. Brent.
They really are. And, they're off 2 losses in a row. And like I said, there's key injuries right there. And without that running game to be able to run against that horrible Miami Dolphins defense, I think Miami's going to stay in this game. Do I think they win? I think it's going to be close, but I think I'm going to take that 4.5. I'll take the Miami Dolphins plus 4.5. Chargers win 26-23. Miami covers.
Michael.
Yeah, I'm actually going to take the Chargers. I think that they're going to break that slump. I don't see them losing 3 in a row. I think Herbert's going to elevate them. I have them winning 21-10.
The Steelers coming off a bye week, and Aaron Rodgers has been good. This is one of these games for the Colts that in about 3 weeks I'm going to eyeball a little bit right here, right? I mean, that's going to be one of those gauge games, but that's further down the road. The Steelers 5.5-point favorites at home against the Browns. Dylan Gabriel, there's been an outcry for Shadur Sanders from some this week. I'm going to go ahead and lay the 5.5. Give me the Steelers at home. I know I'm taking a lot of favorites so far, but I think that's what the page at least dictates to me. And I'm the one that's been really good, not you guys out there. Let's keep that in mind right here. Bury the 5.5 and give me the Steelers, Brent.
Hey, there's a couple things that just scream out to me right here, right? Number one, Cleveland has not gone in and won in Pittsburgh since 2005, I think, 2004. It's been a long time. We're talking 20-plus years. I don't think they have the squad to do it. The Steelers off of a bye. Mike Tomlin always has these guys ready to rock and roll. I think you're going to see the Steelers. I really like this game a lot. Pittsburgh Steelers covers the 5.5. They win 24-13. Lower scoring affair, but they win.
Michael is, I'm sorry about that, Brent. Michael is in the house with his pick.
Yeah, I like Pittsburgh. I just don't think Cleveland's going to be able to put together enough to get it done for the first time since 2005 at Heinz Field. I do think they're going to cover that 5.5. I got Pittsburgh 21, Cleveland 10.
Can you name the quarterback that has a 100 QB rating or better in 2 of 3 starts this season, who's normally a backup quarterback?
100 or better, 2 of 3 starts.
Yes.
Who you got?
Mac Davis. No, Mac Jones.
Look, Mac Davis.
Don't get hooked on me. Don't call me Mac Davis, Mac Jones. Seriously, has played well last week, as we know, too. So's Baker Mayfield, too, man. I thought the Buccaneers, first of all, how do you not wear the creamsicles forever, every single game? That's ridiculous that you don't, so that bull crap you roll out there. But Tampa Bay, to me, going to be way too good. 3.5-point favorites at home against the Niners, even with a revamped Mac Jones with Kyle Shanahan. Lay the 3. And give me the Buccaneers at home.
Yeah, Tampa, they look good. I mean, Baker Mayfield, he's one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL right now. He's feeling good, looking good. They're putting up some points. They're finding ways to win the game. I really like this squad. Now, I will say, you're right. Max Jones has looked great. I think there's going to be a little bit of a controversy there when Purdy gets ready to be Purdy again, but it's going to be tough. I mean, Mac Jones has filled in admirably.
Baby, don't get hooked on me was Mac Davis Classic in 1972.
Bring it in the max, baby. Bring it in the max.
What do you got, Michael?
I'm going to take Tampa, lay the 3. I'll go ahead and finish mine. Michael, take it away.
I think Shanahan does a great job with quarterbacks. I think what he's doing with Mac Jones is impressive.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go against Baker Mayfield. I think he's just playing great ball. He's got the attitude. He's going to get the win. I like them to cover that. 3, Tampa Bay 28, San Francisco 21.
Varsity Bourbon Locks, Lunenville with the key of the shots. Rookie Ashton Genty is going to go wild in this game against the Titans coming up on Sunday. Reason being the Titans can't stop anybody on the run. 3.5-point favorites at home. I know the Raiders are awful. We saw that front and center last week. They get back on the winning track against the Titans at home. Give me the Raiders, lay the 3.5, and Ashton Genty has a great game. Brent.
I like that Ashton Genty call because they need to lean on him more, but they need to get Geno back in the game a little bit. I mean, they're not utilizing their weapons right now. He looks horrible. However, I think this is their get-right game, especially Tennessee got their first win last week. I don't think they go into Vegas and get that. Give me the Raiders, lay the 3.5. They win 24-17.
Michael.
Yeah, I think Vegas is going to figure a few things out against Tennessee this week. I think that Genty's really starting to get his wheels going. I do like them to cover that 3.5. Vegas 24, Tennessee 20.
Hey, the Bengals are last in the NFL in total yards. Jake Browning had thrown 8 interceptions, so that's the reason why your lifeline goes out in a trade for Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco gets off the bus in Cincinnati and is immediately installed as the starting quarterback on the road. By the way, Sunday afternoon, 4:25 at Lambeau in Green Bay. The Packers are 14. This is absolutely crazy that I don't believe in Joe Flacco. The Bengals stinkage, and they're in Green Bay. But I'm going to go ahead, give me for whatever, I don't know why. Maybe the sun will shine on the old man one last time here. They're not going to win anything, but give me the 14 and give me the Bengals on the road at Lambeau. I wish I had a better explanation. Alas, I do not.
Well, John, I'll tell you what. As crazy as this might be,
yes,
I'm going to join you in that
Are
selection.
You really?
Now, I will say, hey, Green Bay is going to win this game, right? 14 points in the NFL is a tremendous amount. Green Bay is not historically good under Matt LaFleur coming off of a bye. I don't know that they're going to be able to plan for Mr. Flacco. I think Flacco's going to do enough to get him. I think he's going to get T. Higgins involved. I think he's going to get Jamar Chase involved and show him how to throw that ball. I've been watching a little bit of the practice since 2 days ago when he got there, and he's already going some deep routes with him. I think that Green Bay wins this game, but I don't think they cover that 14. So, betting-wise, I would take Cincinnati plus 14. Green Bay wins 30-20, also goes over the total of 44.5.
Michael.
Yeah, so I think that I'm going to have to go against you guys on this one. I do think the Packers are
I actually love to hear that, Michael. I'm a big Packer fan, my man. So.
Fantastic. Yeah, I do think the Packers are going to cover that 14. I just don't know that bringing Flacco in really does much for the organization, and I don't think it does much week 1 of his tenure there. I don't think that they're going to have enough juice to move the needle. I think we're looking at 28-10, Green Bay taking the win.
8:20 Sunday night, guys. I'm going to take the Lions here. Lions on the road in Kansas City. I like Dan Campbell's team. I think as does everybody else. Give me the 2.5. I'm sorry, 2.5-point underdogs on the road at Arrowhead. Give me the Lions. Brent.
All right, we're going to skip that Patriots and Saints game. We'll come back to that
one.
Just
a second, yeah. On our list, nobody knows.
I got to get on my game. All right, so I think it's going to be the game of the week as far as watching NFL football. I think it is going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a field goal game. However, I think the winners of this game is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs by 3. 27-24. Give me the Chefs. Lay the 2.5. Chiefs cover.
Michael.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this game. I love Dan Campbell. I think the way he has his team playing and the mindset he brings to his team is going to be enough. I don't really like how Kansas City's been playing this year. They're kind of in a rough spot. I'm definitely looking for Detroit to win this one 31-28, so I do have them covering that 2.5.
I like it. Larceny Bourbon Locks, Lunenville to give the shots. 3.5-point road favorites. Patriots at New Orleans. New Orleans, their win last week. Short-lived, however. Bury the 3.5 and give me Drake May in New England on the road. Brent?
This is another one of those games. I think it's coming down to a field goal, and I think that hook's going to come into play here. As ugly as it is, you're right. Drake May has looked great. They got 2 wins in a row. Saints coming off of a win. I think the Saints find a way to keep this one close. I think New England wins 20-17. I'll take that plus 3.5, though, at home for New Orleans Saints to get the cover. Not win, get the cover. Give me the Saints.
He's Michael.
I've got New England taking that 3.5. They're going to cover that. I think they're going to win 21-14. I just don't like anything I'm seeing from the Saints this season.
And why would you?
I know, right? And I believe in Drake May, so I think this is a good game for him.
All right, 2 Monday Nighters, as we mentioned, Bills and Falcons. The Bills haven't covered anything this year, but they're still a really good team. That is why I'm taking that 4.5 and give me the Falcons coming off their bye week. Brent?
Wow, taking the Falcons.
Yes.
Dang it, John. I was kind of wanting to see
I'm taking everybody against the Bills because the Bills don't cover.
This is actually one of my favorite games right here. I think Bills go in there and they get right after that loss. They're going to come back in, show them who's boss, what's going on. I don't know the Falcons. They're still kind of toying around. Michael Penix, what's happening there? Bijan Robinson, he is the man, but they're going to hold him in check here. But I think Buffalo Bills, they go into Atlanta 34-20. Means they cover that 4.5 pretty good. Give me the Bills.
Michael.
Yeah, I think Buffalo's got to come in and kind of make a statement, get back to the confidence that they had to start the season. I think that they're going to do that. I do think they're going to cover that 4.5. Atlanta's got a lot to figure out, so I just don't think they're in a position to knock Buffalo off. I think it's going to be 30-21, Buffalo taking the win.
Yeah, the other Monday Nighters in Washington, the Bears and the Commanders, and 4.5-point favorites at home. Jaden Daniels returned last week. We know that. Bury the 4.5. Give me the Commanders, Brent.
Yeah, I absolutely love this game. This is going to be my larceny lock of the week right here. The Washington Commanders lay the 4.5. They win the game 31-20 and put those Bears down a notch. The Commanders.
Michael.
Yeah, I agree. Jaden Daniels is back. I just don't think the Bears are going to be able to get it done. I like them to win 35-28. Going with Washington.
All right, guys. Week 6, we get to the Colts. 1 o'clock coming up on Sunday for our final selection here. The Colts off to a tremendous 4-1 start. Yeah. We know the injury situation's right. Hopefully Alec Pierce comes back. We felt the same thing about his situation last week. However, the bigger deal's on the other side with Kyler Murray. Didn't practice yesterday. Didn't practice today. Has a foot injury, a toe injury, whatever it is. That's not good. The backup would be former Colts quarterback Jacoby Brissett. So I'm just going to assume there's going to be no Murray. But even with it, I feel confident the Colts are going to roll them up. 31-13 is going to be your final. The Colts are 7-point home favorites. 31-13. Reverse those numbers right there, Brent, and give me the Colts at home.
Yeah, I'm going to start off here with my Lunazul Tequila fantasy shot of the week, and he was available in 70% of the leagues. He actually took the Bell Cow toll last week, but then also DeMarcado had that big blunder there. Go ahead and pick up Michael Carter for a running back out there if you're looking for somebody who's on the waiver wire. He's going to get all the action right there after what DeMarcado did last week. And you're right. Watch what happens here on this game. But even with Kyler Murray, I think the Colts are humming. They're humming home. I think they look good. I think Colts cover 31-23. Just cover that 7, but I'll take the Colts.
Michael of the Ale Emporium in Greenwood.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Colts. Diehard Colts fan. Daniel Jones is playing great ball. Gives me a lot of pride to say that I think they're going to steamroll them. I'm looking 33-14, and they're definitely going to cover that 7.
Love it.
Michael. Ale Emporium in Greenwood. Great job today, buddy.
Wonderful stuff,
well
man.
done, man. You were right there, bud. Well done, man.
We'll keep track of these picks, too.
Yes,
and then,
we will.
We'll see you soon. If not here, we'll see you in Avon in the first of the year when things get kicking off over there.
Yeah, we're really excited. I can't wait to see you guys there.
Hey, come back over before the end of the show so we can tout what you guys are doing this weekend as well, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's Michael
awesome.
right
Thanks,
there,
Michael.
the Ale Emporium on
you.
the south side. We're in Greenwood right there. Brent's going to rejoin coming up on the other side. That's our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila shots for Week 6. We shall go over those. More on the college game and Major League Baseball later on tonight. And also the latest that is going on. We got that covered for you at the Ale Emporium in Greenwood. Don't go anywhere. It's 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Thank you all for the recommendations for Windsor, Ontario, Canada. If Blake comes back with this expression, that's all you need to know. Thank you for that.
Are you going to text them with some highlighted spots to go to through all the fans sending over? Hey, Blake, while you're there, why don't you check out?
Oh, my God. Look at my man Laux over there. I love that. Shout out to Ron Colley's in the house over there. You got is Iowa playing this weekend? Where are they? Oh, Wisconsin. Okay. That's Dave Laux over there, by the way. His son Trevor is awesome left tackle for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
That's outstanding.
From Ron Colley. And Dave is the softball coach at Ron Colley. The incredibly successful softball coach is here, too. And I can never thank them enough because Blake had such an incredible experience at Ron Colley. I would do that again every single time with him at Ron. He loved it.
Isn't it great, though, when you have great people leading the charge? I mean, it just makes that so much more
He's got lifetime
enjoyable.
friends from there, too,
sure.
which is cool, and they're evidently not with him in Windsor right now. But yeah,
Is he Stag in Windsor? Has he got a...
He's definitely up there. He's up there. JMV back in the 90s, we went to Windsor for one thing. The all-nude clubs. Good. Thanks for making me feel good, guys. Right there. That's great. So, hey, by the way, too, we had our picks we just made. I think everybody's pretty solid. Michael, you, me, as far as the Colts are concerned with that number. I think we got in on that number. If Jacoby Brissett is the starter, does that number go any higher, or is that already representative of the skepticism of Kyler Murray and his participation?
I think it's 2 points higher than what it would be, if not 3. I mean, I really do. I think... if you look at, I just think any kind of an injury, and I think with what's coming out on word, it doesn't sound like he's going to play. It sounds like Brissett. He's having the whole week to practice as the number one guy, so that should tell us some things. But, Arizona, they've got a good squad. We talk about them all the time. They've got a great squad. Yeah. They just can't seem to put things together a whole lot. And bonehead moves, like what they did last week. Bonehead moves.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. They just kind of unlocked Marvin Harrison Jr. a little bit because there was some wonder if he was ever going to be anything. And, once he gets unlocked, they screw themselves royally. And that was themselves last week against the Titans.
They're up 21-6 at half.
Yeah.
They don't score again in the second half. They got stupid errors out there. I mean, just stuff that's
dropping
happened.
the football before you go on, which is a trend. That's a trend beyond belief.
It really is.
Can we trace back where that was invented and who invented that and why is that so cool?
Well, and
why is that even a thing?
It's not. I don't. And I know a lot of coaches say you run through the letters, right? So you see the team's letters in the back. Once you get there, then drop the ball.
Yeah.
Get over that goal line because as soon as you go to start doing something, and that one DeMarcado had, it kind of looked like he was already over it, but he wasn't, and not enough to change it. But you look at that, I mean, just bonehead moves, right? That's what's going to – you're not going to win in the NFL if you're doing stuff like that. And that's what happened. I mean, and again, that pick 6 from the goal line, I mean, man, so you're going in and you get it up. So
I mentioned this a little bit earlier, too. So the Colts get the Cardinals coming up on Sunday. And then you're going to have the opportunity to go out west again with the Chargers, who – they're on the road this week. We know that to be true, but they've scuffled, and they have just a ton of injuries. And then you have Tennessee, I believe, back at home, and then you go to Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh's going to be a decent gauge, I think, right there. But you look at this team at 4-1 right now and where they are, that is as good as I think anybody thought they were going to be, and certainly as good as anybody would ask for.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you have to be just elated as a Colts fan right now to see what they've done, to see the resurrection of, just what Jones has done. Indiana Jones is back, right? He looks good. But Jonathan Taylor, I mean, he has, talk about resurrection, he has come back just in full force with 3 touches last week. I mean, he looks great. They're putting it all together. Again, take out some of those mistakes that have happened, but they look wonderful. And again, I think they're going to kind of keep this thing going. Going to be a tough game at Chargers next week, like you say. Then you got the Titans and at Steelers. But you look at the rest of the schedule. You got the Falcons, winnable. Chiefs going to be, Chiefs. Who are they this year? Texans looked good for the first time last week. I mean, schedule. And then you got Jacksonville, Seahawks, 49ers. It's going to tighten up a little bit, so they got to keep this run going, and they've looked great doing it so far.
Well, they have to. I mean, Daniel Jones has has been absolutely outstanding. Without question. I mean, between he and Jonathan Taylor, and I brought up this point back on Monday's show, has Daniel Jones made Shane Steichen better or Shane Steichen made Daniel Jones better? I mean, I think that's an interesting dynamic right there where you could honestly say both have made each other better, but I still think that Jones has provided for Steichen an area in the past couple of years with Richardson, or really anybody else for that matter, but certainly Richardson, that he has not been provided. The entirety of his playbook is wide open, whereas you may have to skip a chapter or two with somebody else. His playbook is wide open, and then it's also wide open in a level of confidence in the plays that he's calling. So he's getting to be more himself without being tied down with a lack of belief or just not going a particular area or play call because you don't have the quarterback to execute it. And I mean from start, pre-snap to finish, to execute it the right way. So I would honestly say, if you were asking me that question that I posed back on Monday, that it was Jones for Steichen, because Jones has opened, I think, a whole new avenue up for the Colts head coach in the form of play calling.
Oh yeah, when you've got a ground game like that, and you can open it up, right? You can't stack the box when he's running because Jones is doing what he's doing and he's throwing the ball and he looks good. I mean, he really does. It's exciting to see. It's just get the right person in the right place with the right coach, knows how to coach him. I mean, it's been a disaster in New York for Mr. Jones going into it, but then you look at Baker Mayfield in Cleveland and you look at all these guys that are excelling right now. They got to find the right system, and I think Mr. Jones has found it here.
But they've, I tell you what, he's also made the offensive line better. And I'm not trying to hump all the praise on Daniel Jones because I know it's a team effort, but we know what that position represents in sports in general. It's the most important position anywhere. And I think he also has helped this offensive line be even better.
Well, you get
rid of the football. You make smart decisions, decisive decisions, and you're not having a group out there having to try to overprotect, and then ultimately somebody's going to end up getting beat. And, he gets rid of the football, which I think in turn the way that he has played has made that offensive line look a lot better.
Oh, it really has. And winning is a powerful thing, right? When you've got a lot of guys thinking, oh, well, how is our season going to be? What are we going to do? Well, you get some wins under the belt and you keep rolling. You got guys pumped up to play right now, and it's pretty special to see. And again, it's exciting to see the transformation of what we thought Daniel Jones, right? I mean, it's a product of the system, and I think he's found a system.
Well, I mean, and too, IU fans have seen this with the quarterback situation. And Kurt Cignetti gets, all the praise, and he should. But when you think about the last 2 years at quarterback, whether it's Mendoza this year or Rourke last year, I mean, that's made all the difference in the world. And during the Kurt Cignetti era, he's always had a quarterback that has been a difference maker, that has been priority number one to get an experienced quarterback, whether it was JMU or at IU. And we have seen how that has worked, and especially with his teams, that familiarity, how that has worked as well. But with the Colts, this has made, and we questioned in week 2, Shane Steichen's play calling and decision making down the stretch, which should have and very easily could have cost him that game against Denver. But outside of that, it just looks like an entirely different dynamic has been opened up just because of the presence of Daniel Jones. So every bit of how Shane Steichen has, and this change has been better for Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones has been equally, certainly, if not more, for that of Shane Steichen being able for him to be himself as a play caller and an offensive coach and play caller in this case. And certainly this offense has been thriving through the first 5 weeks.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And again, it takes a combination of all, right? But you've got to have a key quarterback. You're talking about Cignetti fight. You've got to have a guy that you can put the trust in, that's going to be smart with the football, not throw away, not throw interceptions, know when to check down. I mean, it's a split decision out there, so you got to have a head on your shoulders. And again, I think Dan Jones has found his spot, and they're getting things worked out together on what play calls make sense. then you got a guy like Jonathan Taylor who's just running bananas right now, and it's fun to watch him play.
No, it is too. I mean, the wide receivers. One play that stood out to me on Sunday too, before we take a break here, was the one where there was a little bit of pressure, and it was actually a time when Daniel Jones held onto the ball. He slid a little bit right, made a play, and there was, his decision-making and the decision-making of Michael Pittman Jr., his teammates, to come back to the football. If you saw, it was in the end zone. It was that Michael Pittman Jr. touchdown catch, and it was a scramble situation after a little pressure, and Daniel Jones didn't run away from anybody, but he slides right, finds a window, and Michael Pittman Jr. comes back to him to find or help him create that window when, in recent history, simply put, we have not seen that.
Oh, absolutely.
From that position and this offense. And if we have seen it, it's certainly been a rarity.
And, on the other side of that football, the defenses look good. I mean, it takes a lot to make things happen. Defenses look great, too. And, again, they're not taking the foot off the gas pedal, which I love. 40-6 over the Raiders. They did in the fourth. AR came in and got a little bit of play. Did you see his pass to himself? He's like, screw this. We're going to run the ball every time. I'm going to throw it to myself and get a completion. But, no, it was fun. 40-6 rout of the Raiders was that's good for just the enthusiasm of the team. They're moving on. They're feeling
great
good.
For the fans.
Great for the fans.
Because the fans deserve that.
The fans do deserve it, and the city is exciting and lit for what's going on right now with Colts football.
That's Brent. I'm John. Mike Chappell, top of the hour. The injury situation for the Colts, those that missed today would include defensive tackle Grover Stewart, worth watching coming up as we head for the weekend, but those that were back would include Alec Pierce. Now, similar set of circumstances a year ago, but we shall see. You had a new place kicker in Michael Badgley. We'll talk about that with Chappell coming up here at the top of the hour as well. And that's not going to be easy, but I will tell you this, going in and having a 7 or 8 kicker confrontation and challenge to see who's going to end up making that team is not easy either. You've got to have somebody that is competent in the ability right now. It is not ideal, but if you're the Colts, try to make it as, I don't want to say simple, I don't want to say easy, but you try to make it as smooth a transition as possible in a situation that can lead certainly to some bad outcomes. I don't know how else to put it here. You go with the best that is out there, and I think you're kind of lucky in this case that were guys that were available that have made kicks in the NFL before, even if they were unemployed up until earlier this week. Quick break. We'll come back to Ale Emporium. We're in Greenwood. We'd love to see you. We have Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, and the free samples flowing. Brent rejoins. Mike Chappell, top of the hour. I got bullseye passes to give away, James. Let's do that in the next 10 minutes as well. Bullseye passes coming up on Sunday. That's at 10 a.m. down at bullseyeeventgroup.com before the Cardinals-Colts matchup. Got your opportunity to win those coming up about 10 minutes or so. 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
The band back together.
Forget it. No way. We're on a mission from God.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
I got more bullseye passes for you coming up, so sit tight for that. Shout out to Kyle Kinnett. Got that great party begins at 10 a.m. coming up on Sunday morning. I'll start it off at 9 a.m. with the ride to kick off. Charles Arbuckle is going to join me coming up on tomorrow's show as well. Thank you to Greg Rakestraw for holding things down Tuesday and Wednesday for me, and did a great job per usual. James, you as well. Dev's the onside engineer. Brittany and Chad and Isabella here at the Ale Emporium Southside. We're the Ale Emporium in Greenwood for Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. I should say Cardinals Colts tickets we'll give away tomorrow. We're going to be at Sam Silver Circle. That is not entirely in Fountain Square. Would you call that, Brent, just outside of Fountain Square? Sam Silver Circle, which is a historic joint, to say the least.
Great spot. We did a tavern tour there last year.
We did. I love Sam.
Just on the outskirts of Fountain Square. Yeah.
Just on the outskirts. By the way, did you see I was in Jasper on Tuesday, and I sent you Snaps. There's a place called Snaps. Anybody ever been to Snaps in Jasper? It is a restaurant bar that has just a history all the way back to the 1800s in Jasper. And they have little Elijah Craig right back there at the bar. And that'd be a long way to go, but if it was built around, some kind of fun event, maybe a Strausson Fest or whatever event they have in Jasper, I think that would be fun as hell to do down there. Snaps in Jasper, the home of alligator bites.
Wow.
They have fried alligator.
You probably didn't eat
I
any?
did not.
No.
I had ahi tuna, which was awesomely prepared.
Wow.
Much better than me. I went home last night and tried to grill some, and I just screwed it all up. Ahi tuna, awesomely prepared, and just the greatest in cottage cheese at Snaps.
Snaps, huh?
Snaps in Jasper. And the guy said, yeah, we would love to have you down. It's a great place.
Well, two-hour run south. But
2-hour run south. Where
I like the history to it, right? I mean, that's got tavern tour maybe written all over
We'd
right?
have to ask the people that still own the 1070 AM signal if we could buy it back for 2.5 cents. I don't know what the hell they're waiting on over there, but anyway, because back in the day with that signal, you could actually get down there. Seriously, in the afternoon, you'd get down there. But it is a great spot. Maybe for a future summertime enjoyable tavern tour stop.
Did you ride the alligator up front?
I don't know if that alligator's still out there.
Is it not there?
I don't think it's still there right now.
I'm
But
just
no,
looking
I had
at
a
it
hell of a
online here.
time. I love the fact your products are down. It snaps.
That's awesome.
We'll ask Mike Chappell on the other side. Jermaine Pratt was brought in with a 1-year deal, cut loose by the Raiders. And per usual, the form is if you ever played or been around or done anything for Lou Anarumo, they're going to hire you to do something for the Colts right now. So we'll talk to Mike Chappell. And really, with the way that Joe Bocci played, who's another Anarumo guy, anybody would be better than that took place on Sunday. And we'll see. We'll talk to Mike about that on the other side. The injured Colts, the guys that were back at practice, and Brent rejoins as well because we have Major League Baseball, 2 teams trying to stay alive in NLDSs later on tonight. 6:08, 9:08, Phillies and Dodgers, L.A. at 6:08, Brewers and Cubs from Wrigley at 9:08. Brent and I rejoin. We'll talk about that, Mike Chappell and more. The Ale Emporium, Greenwood on a Larceny Bourbon Locks Luna Azul Tequila Shots Thursday, and Win Schuler's Spreadability available for you. Meyer locations just up the road at Southport Road. That Meyer's got Win Schuler Spreadability from original to sharp cheddar to bacon and cheddar and your favorite jalapeno pepper. Win Schuler Spreadability needs to be of your snacking tonight and this weekend. Find it in your favorite grocer's refrigerator.
David Letterman!
Hi, David. I'm Grandpa.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
I did want to give a shout out. I think he left without saying goodbye. That's very Chris Hagan of him. My man Dave Lauk was here, the AD at Ron Colley and the softball coach, and just a great guy. I did want to tell everybody, not too far from Ron Colley right here, but I mentioned this to Brent a little bit earlier. My son Blake, who's in Windsor, Canada right now, probably not doing Ron Colley things, but went to Ron Colley for 4 years, and I go by the experience. Like, I'm from southern Indiana, rural area, hillbilly, right? And I had a great time, and I would do it all over again in a second. That's how good of a time I had. And what I want is for my kids to have an equally good time, right? And Blake did at Ron Colley, and Laney is right now at CG. I get texts all the time from Laney's friends, which is pretty funny. Because they wanted pictures of me. Brent, they wanted pictures of my wrecked Porsche back in 1986. So I had to send those out. You ever seen pictures of my wrecked Porsche?
No, I thought you were going somewhere else with that. So now I'm picturing your wrecked Porsche.
My wrecked Porsche.
No.
Yeah,
no, they
it
wanted
was
pictures,
not good.
No? Oh, I've heard it. We've talked about it.
Yeah, it was
pretty
bad.
rough,
I
wasn't
tin canned it pretty good. Yeah. That's what happens when you put the redneck behind the wheel right there of German engineering. That's what you get. But nah, I always want to thank, when I get the opportunity, my friends at Ron Colley for providing that for Blake, because he had a great time, really did. And I saw Dave and some folks here a little bit earlier. It's always good to see those guys. That's Brent Halverson. I'm JMV. Hey, while we're thinking about it right now, we'll bring Mike Chappell on in just a second. BullseyeEventGroup.com. You know, the response was so incredible a moment ago. Let's do it again. 317-239-1070. A pair of passes. This is passes into the BullseyeEventGroup.com Colts VIP tailgate. James, let's do it on the text line again. 317-239-1070. We did 25 last time. We could easily do 30, so let's up it here. Number 30 at 317-239-1070 on the text line will go to the BullseyeEventGroup.com Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Number 30, you're going to go on me because I like you. I like you a great deal. Brent rejoins in a second, but on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I'm assuming unless we get the roof open a couple of different times here upcoming, I'm going to be mowing somebody's property in Beech Grove here next year. And that is Mike Chappell's property over there, who joins us again on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I think last Sunday, the roof and window not being open cost me that bet. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, I need to at least mow tomorrow or Saturday, so, you know, you could do that. Or
well, I haven't officially lost. I haven't lost the bet yet, but I can mow for it if you want. Do you need me to mow?
I may not have the property next year. I'm trying to sell the damn place, so we'll
do you need me to mow? If you need me to mow, I will. Oh, I can do it. Do you mow it yourself?
It takes me 2 hours on a riding mower, so it's quite the afternoon. So no, I'll get it done, and I'll bitch and moan at you the whole way.
I don't mind mowing. Like it takes me about 45 minutes to 50 minutes to do mine, but I'm on a zero turn going about 65 miles an hour.
Yeah, I don't quite do that.
I got about 4 acres to do.
Yeah, mine's kind of funky the way we do it, and I complain and all this, but I do it. And fortunately, don't you think this is like the last time to mow or not? Now, I've got leaves.
Oh, hell
to mow.
No. No, you'll be mulching the leaves, yeah.
No, I know that. I can.
Yeah, I do mine up until Thanksgiving easily.
Well, I as long as the grass is done, I can mulch like in 30 minutes and do that like 3 times. I don't wait till they're all done because I don't want to be buried in the leaves. I'd rather do it like 3 times and then be done with it.
Yeah, that is true. Now, do you mulch your leaves and then blow the leaves around any trees on the property? Is that what you do?
Yeah, the last time I'll try to to get it to where they're not cluttered in places. But it's open enough that the one thing I'm careful of is not to at least be the person that blows mulch leaves on my neighbor's property. That really gets me peeled when people do that. I'll let the wind take care of that. I try to be a little bit considerate of my neighbors.
Sometimes I've done it before in the road, which is Banter Road, and the bikers that come by there. I don't think they like it.
Yeah, I do
that
with on 25th Street in Beach Grove, and there have been times when it looks really bad, so I'll go down the street with the mower and blow them back on my property. And then sometimes I say the hell with it and let cars blow them when they come by. So it depends on my mood at the time.
Hey, before we start with the Colts injuries and those that did participate in practice today, it doesn't look like Kyler Murray is going to play with that foot or toe, whatever it is, and former Colts quarterback Jacoby Brissett. Looks like you could get the start. What's your thought on that as of right now? Does it look like to you what it looks like to me about his lack of participation, he being Murray?
Yeah, but again, when you're talking about a veteran, they can practice Friday. But when I tell you, when it's a foot or a toe, I think it's a toe, right? Maybe turf toe, which sounds like it's turf toe. No, it's turf toe for crying out loud. And he's a quarterback that cuts on it. So I don't want to dismiss Jacoby Brissett at all. He can handle things. He can manage games and make plays. I would much rather face Jacoby Brissett than Kyler Murray. You know where Brissett's going to be. His threat, his game is easier to prepare for and deal with. So I'd much rather face Brissett.
No, I completely dismissed him earlier. I said Neil Lomax, Jim Hart, Kelly Stauffer, whomever. But no,
I tell you,
it's not going to work.
Go back to 2019. And this team makes the playoffs if Jacoby Brissett doesn't have that knee sprain and miss a game. They would have won. They'd have made the playoffs. Even with Adam Vinatieri's struggles, they'd have made the playoffs. But he just doesn't present anywhere near the level of threat that Kyler Murray does. So, and they're already without their top two running backs. It would be very advantageous to the Colts.
Well, and they're bound to screw it up anyway, as we witnessed last week in a multitude of ways. And without his threat, they're nowhere near.
That's what I mean.
Nowhere near the same. I mean, that's just something you can't, with a backup at all, replicate. And, they've been stumbling and bumbling around even with him back there.
Pity the fool who drops the ball short of the goal line the next time. I mean, I'm telling you. I don't understand it anyway, but in back-to-back weeks, both guys are going to be here on Sunday, the running back and then A.D. Mitchell. I don't understand it. We talked to Reggie Wayne about it today, and he just said the lack of focus and all that stuff. But my goodness, I don't understand how you do that. Jonathan Taylor's, as we talked about, to me was different because he just sort of dropped it. A.D. Mitchell's was more getting ready to celebrate, and I just, the next guy that does it, I guess, unless it's a really, really star, they could be cut. I mean, at some point, what are you doing? So yeah, it's interesting, and I want to see A.D. Mitchell score a touchdown and see him refuse to give the ball up. I mean, he may keep it, go back to the bench, sit down, the football in his hands. So, yeah, I just don't understand doing stuff like that. But again, it's like, man, I haven't seen that in forever. Well, now I haven't seen that since, I don't know, last week. So it's who started that? Who was tagged with starting that particular ridiculous trend? Stephen Holder did a good story on ESPN, and Deshaun Watson. I remember Leon Lett in the Super Bowl. A little different, though, because he was returning, I think, a fumble, big lineman, and he kind of slowed up, and Don Beebe chased him down and knocked it out of his hand. But prior to Jonathan Taylor, I don't remember. Oh, no, that's not true, because the year that Taylor did it last year, there was a Cincinnati Bengals defensive back either a fumble or an interception, and he dropped the ball before the goal line. So it's just, I mean, how many? And what's crazy again is they tell these guys every week, letters and logos. Don't put the ball down until you're at the letters and logos. And then it happens. I don't get it. It says something about the player. Focus. I don't know. But again, the next guy that does it, I wouldn't want to be him or his agent, because the response won't be kind.
So Mike Chappell of CBS 4 and Fox 59. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. We'll get to the Colts and their injury situations in just a second. Have you been disappointed in the production? Because I know people that are Cardinal fans, like all five of them, seem to be disappointed in who Marvin Harrison Jr. is until this point. And I know that we all expected more, and maybe that was too much, but this is certainly not what really any of us, including those five Cardinals fans, have expected.
No, and again, remember whatever the last game we saw on TV, it wasn't the Tennessee game, the one before that, to where he was just not playing well. Just he looked detached, disinterested, dropped a couple balls, and then he had a great touchdown in the end zone where he went over a guy. This is where, and the media is to be blamed to some level, where you make this guy out to be the best receiver coming into the league since Randy Moss or somebody. And then it's when he doesn't live up to it, you say, well, what's up? Well, it's kind of like with Arch Manning in Texas, where the media built this guy up to be a Heisman and the number one pick and all this, and now that's not who he is. So, but no, I'm a little disappointed, surprised, I guess. And this is one where you just hope that this isn't the game where he goes off. I think this is a great chance to put Mooney Ward on Marvin and make him go somewhere else, because Marvin was a special player at Ohio State. He was, and he hasn't forgotten how to play. Whether he just isn't comfortable in that offense, or he and Murray haven't clicked or whatever, I don't know. But great players in college just don't forget how to play. There's something up, and I don't know what it is. But it's sort of a level with A.D. Mitchell where people here are ready to just move on. We're tired of it. This guy, he has too much talent. You're not going to do that. And with Marvin, it's just be patient. I remember Reggie. I always use Reggie as a reference point. He didn't really emerge until was it mid of his year 2 or year 3 when he had Big Marvin along with him. So I think he's going to have a really, really good career, and I just hope it starts after Sunday.
Deshaun Jackson was the starter, evidently, of that. Yeah, Deshaun Jackson of the Eagles, I believe, back then is.
Isn't that something great to be known for? That's great to be known for the first guy
who started all that. So that's dropping of the football right at the goal line. So it is definitely a trend that everybody would like to see end. That's Mike Chappell of CBS 4 and Fox 59 on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Speaking of Moore, how about Kenny Moore II? Got any expectation riding on that, and especially those others that did not participate in practice, including one Grover Stewart earlier today?
I'm not too concerned, and this is me talking, it's not my body part. I think he's okay. I think he plays. Had that, whenever you hear bicep, you're thinking, oh my, that may be extended time, but I think he'll be okay. I'm encouraged by Alec Pierce, although we were here last week on Thursday talking about Alec Pierce, and then Friday he didn't practice, so tomorrow's a big day for him. Kenny Moore I don't really understand what's going on. We talked to him yesterday, and he's such a great guy and such a great player. And, he's missed 2 games, and he's not going to practice this week unless he's out there tomorrow at some level. And I don't see how he plays practices next week and plays that game. Was it the Chargers after that? So I don't understand why they didn't put him on IR, which is 4 games, because it may be 4 games anyway, maybe 5. maybe 5. But he's doing what he has to do. He said they've got among the best people, docs and rehab people and all that. And it's just when it's Achilles, all your antenna go up on your alarms on that. And he sort of talked about that. Well, what I thought was interesting is we talked to him, and he said it was not ideal how he felt at Tennessee when it happened. And he said, but I dodged a full ruptured Achilles. So at some level there was damage to the Achilles, and as we've seen, you don't mess with that. You make sure you're very cautious, and they will be. But because of that, I was a little surprised they didn't put him on IR, just to give him 4 or 5 weeks to get it right, maybe longer. But they need him. He's a quality player, one of the best at his position. So we'll see where this goes.
What's up, Mike Chappell of CBS 4 on Fox 59. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group power line. We kind of at a similar point, I think a week ago, regarding Alec Pierce and how he felt, and then there was a moonwalk of sorts, back pedal, if you will, and he did not participate. How you feeling? It looks like all systems are go to clear concussion protocol and to be active on Sunday?
Well, you would think so. I think he came in either Thursday after practice at some point or that evening or the next morning and just told Shane Steichen that he didn't feel quite right. He still must have had some symptoms. And with these concussions, you do not even you can't. You can't push it because you've got to be cleared by that independent neurologist. Tomorrow will tell. If he's out there tomorrow, then he's past it and good to go. Although again, this is his third career concussion, his second in the last 9 or 10 months. So you're going to be, sort of watching and making sure that because the more you have, the more susceptible you seem to be for another one. Hopefully he's fine. Because he's a great guy, and you don't want to see bad things happen to guys at all, especially like Alec. And he's such a key component of this offense. They've done really good things without him, but the thing he brings is really, really special. So hopefully he's okay and good to go.
I think what he brings, and I've said this before, they cannot replicate with anybody else. And that's a facet of Daniel Jones' game that he really doesn't have, but he does with a guy like Alec Pierce who could go up and get it.
Yeah, the 50-50 things, it's kind of like either Alec gets it or nobody gets it.
Right.
And again, that's not a strength of Daniel Jones, the deep ball. He's shown some of that in 5 games, but again, I guess you hope that A.D. Mitchell will be that kind of a guy, but he just hasn't had the chance or cashed in when he's had the chance. Ashton Doolin was amazing last week, which should surprise nobody. That's who he is. On our podcast today on CBS 4 and Fox 59, I sort of mentioned I compared Ashton Doolin to Jack Doyle, to where you need that guy on your roster that just does things that some people see him, but things that people don't see. And when you need something done, either Jack Doyle does it or Ashton Doolin does it. Remember Zach Pascal was that kind of a guy. And, I always say you need a couple of those guys. You can't have too many of them, and then you're just a run-of-the-mill team. But, boy, those guys, when they're able to be the fourth receiver and your top special teams guy, and again, he had a 98-yard touchdown called back for crying out loud on a kickoff. So it could have been a really, really special day. But that's why. But again, that's why this group works well together, because Pierce goes down and Mitchell's in the doghouse. So Ashton Doolin steps up and gives you such a great game. It was the most he's played on offense. And you would, if you didn't know that, you wouldn't have known that just because of the way he handled it. He just looked like he fit right in.
Well, I mean, Colts fans are kind of wondering if maybe we're going to see every former Bengal that played for Lou Anarumo will be a part of this defense at some point. And Jermaine Pratt is the latest. I said this. I mean, does he has to automatically be better than what they had, outside of Zaire Franklin to this point? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, because it's not really – they've really not gotten what they want. We all thought it would be Jalen Carlisle, and that's not happened. He's still on IR. And, yeah, it hasn't worked. And they've lessened the linebacker position by using more DBs, which is fine. But you need quality play from your linebackers. They haven't gotten it outside of Zaire. And I expect Jermaine Pratt to start Sunday. I do. It's not like he's not been playing. He started 4 games for the Raiders. And then for whatever reason, they left him home when they came here last weekend. So, yeah, it's okay to have former players from a coordinator as long as they're the right one. Mike Hilton was a good pickup, and then he gets hurt. And Jermaine Pratt will be an upgrade. We were talking in the press room, and the only thing is, they had a chance to sign Jermaine Pratt like 6 weeks ago when the Bengals cut him.
Right.
And they didn't. So I guess they were trying to give their own players more of a chance to grow into the position, and it didn't work. And now you get a experienced linebacker who started a ton, been productive, and yes, it's got to be an upgrade because you just haven't got enough out of that sidekick to Zaire.
Yeah, it's been a struggle. The Money Badger. What do you think about the transition they're making from a guy that was money himself the entire time, and then the jackassery of a special teams play ended his season?
Yeah, whenever you get guys, there's a reason they're out there. We're going to talk about that, but he's a good replacement. I wish he had a stronger leg. I mean, he's 5 of 13 on 50-yarders. They got rid of a guy in the offseason because he couldn't kick 50-yarders with Matt Gay. But again, he came in and he misses last year with a torn hamstring. He's past that and apparently had a great workout. And, Shane Steichen knew him with the Chargers. That always helps. He was here in 21 and kicked well. That always helps. I had forgotten until I looked it up, but they signed him as an undrafted rookie back in 2018, I think it was, to work with Vinatieri for a year for training camp. So he knows his way around. He's kicked well. I think it will require them to readjust their thinking when they get around midfield, and how aggressive and are you going to punt. And Joel Erickson brought up, and it's a good point, that maybe the target line is 33 now on kicking field goals, which is around a 50-yard field goal. But because you can only go on what a guy's done, and he's not been reliable outside of 50. I think he's like 88% on 49 and in, which is good, not great. It's good. But when you're replacing the guy who right now was the best kicker in the league, I realize it was 5 games, but Spencer Schrader was off the charts and reliable. And although him too, you weren't really sure what you had on 50-yarders with him because you didn't have a lot of attempts. But it's just a...
Well, you never want to take away what has been a positive. And clearly he's been a positive, and you don't want to take that away.
And what a great story it was. And you just hate to see something like that go down and what might have been, and he gets his chance, and he's kicking well, and sort of the hometown kid, although he's not from here, but he lives here. So it's just a shame.
Yeah, it is. Mike Chappell of CBS 4 and Fox 59. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Anything else stand out to you? Hey, I did want to ask you this before we go. I know James wants me to go really quickly. I asked this on Monday. Who do you think has helped the other more? Daniel Jones and Shane Steichen, or Shane Steichen and Daniel Jones?
How about Jonathan Taylor and Tyler Warren? But no, Shane Steichen probably. I think Shane has been able to. he saw what a lot of us didn't see or didn't want to see on the reliability, the consistency, and it's just worked. But it's worked because of Shane and because Jones has got the best supporting cast, including the offensive line, that he's had in his career.
So Mike Chappell of CBS 4 and Fox 59 on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I may have to come over and mow some property here in November at some point. So,
well,
I'm on call.
Or if we get that 10 inches of snow, you can come over here and get my walks cleared.
I can do that too. Sounds good, buddy. I appreciate you. We'll see you on Sunday, Mike.
You guys be well. See you.
Mike Chappell of CBS 4 and Fox 59. We'll take a break and come back to Harrah's Hoosier Park Race of the Day. That's 50 and betting, 50 and dining from Harrah's Hoosier Park Racing and Casino in Anderson. Shout out to Tony Renz. Brent Holverson rejoins, and Michael's going to be here as well. Ale Emporium. We're on the south side in Greenwood today for our Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. Bud Light Blue Friday, Sam Silver Circle. It's right outside of Fountain Square coming up tomorrow. Cardinals, Colts tickets to give away. And so much for you tomorrow at 3 with 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Ride with JMV.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
James, get me number 9 for the Monon Spike game at the Fieldhouse. That's volleyball for you. The Monon Spike number 9. 239-1070. Oh, I know. So was that Iceman, Slider, Maverick, and Goose in that 2-man beach volleyball scene in Top Gun? Was Rosovich the actor? Was that Slider? That was with Iceman back then? Am I just over everybody's head with my Top Gun trivia right here? My apologies.
Well, your knowledge is pretty outstanding, my friend.
Slider, or was it Slider that freaked out in combat? Had to take a seat. Couldn't fly anymore.
Can't piece the name with what you're talking about. I know the scenes. I just don't know the names.
Oh, the beach volleyball scene is the greatest.
It is. Just names.
Tom Cruise, shirtless and jeans. Volleyball. I'm going to tell you, if you play sport in jeans, I don't care who you are, you're a dork.
Used to see a little bit of that down in southern Indiana back in the day, John.
I used to play basketball against dudes playing jean shorts. Seriously. Oh, God. What's that?
They were hot back in the 90s, man.
Oh, the jean shorts.
Uh-oh. We got some activity out here. What's that?
Merlin lost his wings. Oh, yeah. That is something right there. There's some activity right there. Hey, Michael, so I have the father, make sure I get this right here. Michael rejoins us from the Ale Emporium here in Greenwood. I have the father of Mallory. Where's Mallory, your server? Is Mallory out here right now? Her father is Terry. And Terry wanted me to give Mallory a shout out.
We should get Mallory up here to say hi.
Yeah. That's all too familiar at my remotes, by the way.
Wow.
You guys want me to go grab Mallory?
Yeah, you want to get Mallory. We got another mic here. Get Mallory. Mallory's dad is listening right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, great place here, right? I mean, look at this. I mean, great crowd out right now. Yeah. The food's outstanding. The drinks are outstanding. The sports are flowing. It's happening. It is definitely happening.
It definitely is happening. Something's happening.
Something's going on with the got our Greenwood Fire Department out
here. I know, man. What in the world is going on right here? No doubt. Oh, man, that's right out there, is it? Huh? No. Is it? Oh, my goodness. Yeah. That's what happens.
Interesting.
That's what happens.
Not sure what that was, but
hey, seriously, week 6, we did that. We did college with IU in Oregon, which is a staple. Brent, we've got Phillies, Dodgers, Brewers, Cubs, an NLDS pair back-to-back later on tonight, with an opportunity with the Phillies and the Cubs to force a decisive Game 5 in their series.
Yeah, and I think we might even see that tonight. I think this game is going to be really close, and again, it's tough. I mean, those Dodgers are outstanding, but we're going to see that. I mean, they're with their first pitch at 6:08, and then we're going to back it up 3 hours later. Milwaukee and Chicago, that could be the wrap-up game here. But we have a new special guest going to join us right now.
We do. Hey, put that, Mal.
You got to move that down a little bit.
Put that microphone down in front of you. There you go.
All right.
So is your dad named Terry?
Yes,
your dad just sent me a message on X saying, say hello to Mallory. And I say, I can do you even better. We can get her on the air right here.
Say hi, Dad.
He is so funny. Hi, Dad. He already texted me earlier saying that you guys would be here. And I was like, oh, no. I said, that means I'm going to have to get on there.
Yes, look at that. Well, welcome, Mallory. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Outstanding. We're
I already
doing great.
got him some stuff to take home.
Some swag.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Exactly.
Well, good. Terry, you're going to be taken care of there.
Terry
should come out
Terry.
and join us next time we're out and about, too. Mallory, we'll get you on to do some special picks with Terry. Maybe.
Yes. Hey, Mallory, your dad's a fantastic dude.
Yeah, he's great.
Fantastic guy. So I recognize whenever he sends me stuff, I recognize him. So that's
Well, I'm glad.
what I saw.
He definitely is the best dad around.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mallory, thank you. You're going to be working here all night?
Yeah, that's my section
Your
over there.
section is right over. You
got chairs over
look
there.
At that.
Look
You
at
got
that.
chairs in your
Yeah.
section right there. Shout out to Mallory's section.
That's awesome.
Hey, look at that, Mallory.
Oh, God, they're embarrassing me. I'm gonna have to get on. Thank you guys so much.
You got it,
you
Mallory.
bet. Thank you,
Tell your
Mallory.
dad hello, okay? That's Terry. Terry is Mallory's father, and Terry is a big. Look at everybody coming in here right now. We got flashing lights, and Mallory's here, and Michael is back. Hey, Michael, what we got going on later on tonight and going into the weekend here at the Ale Emporium Greenwood?
Oh, man, we've got all kinds of great stuff. Ale Emporium Greenwood's got to be the best place around to watch sports. Obviously, we have that huge IU-Oregon matchup. That's going to be, massive. We're really excited about that. And then, the Colts are going to be back in action along with all the other NFL teams that are not as important as the Colts. So we're really excited about that. This is a great place to spend your Saturday and Sundays for football. Another really interesting thing that we have going on for anybody that comes in is our Ale Emporium Painted Pumpkin fundraiser.
Nice.
This is our first annual year doing this fundraiser, and we're really excited about it. So when you come in this weekend to watch the games, just take a look for all of the pumpkins that you see around the building. They're all brightly decorated with a lot of cool different designs done by our staff. And the point of these pumpkins is if you didn't have a chance to make it to the pumpkin patch or you just want to be supportive, come in on Saturday, October 25th. For our silent auction. All proceeds from the Painted Pumpkin silent auction will be going straight to the Humane Society of Johnson County. So that's something we really care about and we're really excited for. So we hope that everybody comes in, scouts out, finds their favorite pumpkin, and comes in ready on the 25th to place a bid and hopefully walk away with their favorite pumpkin, a little bit of Halloween decoration.
I saw some beautiful ones walking in. I was like, man, that's some good-looking pumpkins out there.
Well done,
that's
Mike.
very cool you guys do that, man. Absolutely. And the Humane Society, right? There's a lot of animals out there that need some love, and it takes some support from all of us, and it's cool you guys are facilitating that. So hats off to you on that, man. That's great. Bring your pumpkins in, paint it up, or come in and bid and buy, right?
Absolutely.
I ordered 24 Hermanakis grilled because that's what I do, buddy. Let me tell you that. Now, do you guys ever do, the Tadanakis down here, or is that just like a north side thing?
I think that's just a north side thing.
That's what I thought. Is that just a north side thing?
Well, it is, and you know what I found out? So we were I was in with the family the other night up at the Fisher's location, and we got the Tadanakis for the first time.
Did you really?
And they are really good. They got a little bit extra spice to them.
They do, man.
Did you try them yet? Did you try them that day?
Oh, yeah. I took them home.
Oh, nice.
I took them home, and they gave me like 2 orders to take home.
Ooh.
I was busy.
So, have you heard about the Tadanakis?
Do you know what the Tadanakis are? I feel good about it, Michael, because the only time they say they get orders is when I bring it up on the radio.
Oh, she told me. She said ever since we brought that up on the radio, they have gotten more people asking about the Todd, which I love to hear, right? That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, so I'm stumped. Like, what are they?
So Todd, kitchen manager, I believe, up at the Fisher's location, has taken the Hermanaki, which is one of my favorite styles of all time, and he's added a little twist to it. He's added a couple more ingredients that I guess we're not able to be privy to, but it's really good. It's just that it has a little bit more, it's definitely more spice to it, maybe a little bit more. It's got a little brownish color to it, so I'm not sure what does that, but I will tell you, I actually I ate them, and they were a little too hot for Lisa, so she backed down. And
it's a little bit spicy.
It was great, though, but I tell you what, what I love about those wings, and I always get the large order, and because I can take them home. And I can eat them for lunch the next day, and they are so good. Second day, third day. I mean, it's awesome. But they were really, really good. They passed the test on that, too. You have to do some research. Tadanaki.
Oh, yeah.
It's hot.
I'm going to have to investigate
It is hot. Definitely worth a visit for sure.
Michael, I love this place, man. You guys do such a great job. And how long have you worked here?
A little over a year.
Good for you, man.
And heading out to the new Avon location when that opens.
Yeah, we're really excited. I personally can't wait. I'm from the west side, so I cannot wait to bring Ale Emporium to Avon. It's gonna be big.
You're gonna make a lot of people happy because I cannot tell you how many times I talk to people going, man, if I'm anywhere near Castleton, Greenwood, Fishers, Geist, I've got to get Ale Emporium wings, and they're all West Side people, right? And it's a little bit of a haul. So now you're saying, you know what? We're going to bring it to you, right?
Yeah, that's what Hermanaki wings are for, making people happy.
It's been
Michael,
it's been doing it for a long time.
Of our Week 6 picks, which one are you most confident in?
Ooh, man, most confident. I feel really good about the Colts, man.
Well,
I feel really good about the Colts.
I do too.
Yeah, I like it. I don't think Arizona's.
I feel as good about that as anything else on this list.
Yeah, I feel like we're in our stride and they're not. And, I think we might be poised to have a really good showing. So I really like that game. I like the 7. I know that's a whole touchdown that's hard to do in the NFL, but I like it. I like the feel of that.
Pal, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having me on,
Michael,
guys.
Michael.
ask for Michael at the
Awesome.
Ale
Thank you, bro.
Emporium Greenwood, or Mallory, who gets the big hand from her section over there, whose dad is Terry and is a big-time listener. We'll take a break and come back. Brent and I will close out the show, tell you where we're going to be for week number 7 next week. But until then, we're going to give somebody a chance at 50 in betting and 50 in dining from Harris Hoosier Park Racing and Casino in Anderson. You guys got your horse? Are you ready? I know Cougar is the one that freaked out in the air. I think it's Slider, but somebody tells me it's Merlin. Top Gun trivia is going overboard right here. 50 in betting, 50 in dining. Harris Hoosier Park Racing and Casino in Anderson. Here it is, your Harris Hoosier Park race of the day.
The Ride with JMV.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, your Harris Hoosier Park race of the day. Tracy Sprinkle, winning horse with Skyway Shack. Paid $18.80, $2 bet, exacta. The $2 exacta, $60.80, and the 50-cent trifecta, $47.90. Harris Hoosier Park race of the day, Tony Renz. Thank you very much for all of this. 50 in betting, 50 in dining, courtesy of Harris Hoosier Park Racing and Casino in Anderson. We do it Tuesday through Friday, and there is horse racing going on at the glorious Harris Hoosier Park through November. Harris Hoosier Park race of the day. We'll do it again tomorrow in the 5 o'clock hour. Brent.
We need some more Tony Renz time,
We do
John.
need
It's been a
more
long
Tony
time. We need to
Renz,
get a
yes.
hold of Tony. And
How's he doing? Do we know?
You know, it's been too long. I'm going to reach out to him and just say, hey, because it's been a few months. And miss old Tony Renz. Great guy.
T. Renz is awesome, man.
Really is.
Absolutely awesome. So, speaking of which, we've got the opportunity for people to join us next week. Where are we located, Brent?
We're going to move sides of town a little bit here, John. We're going far north.
We are.
For you.
It'll take me a minute to get up there.
We're going to be at Joe's Grill in Westfield.
Love it.
Next week. And I was told Mr. Nally is not going to be there. He will be on fall break. I think he leaves tomorrow.
Now, is that a 2-week fall break? What is it at Mount Vernon?
That used to be
week?
2. It's now 1 week.
Yeah.
Used to be 2, but now 1 week. We're our kids start Friday as well, but due to sectionals and stuff, we're not able to go anywhere for fall break. So we got some volleyball coming up sectional-wise. But, next week we will be next Thursday at Joe's Grill in Westfield. We'll have Mr. Ryan Miller with us. And I believe guest appearance from Mr. Kent Murphy.
Never bunt.
Mr. Nick Hall will be joining us there, maybe to do some picks and talk about. He's been out in California doing some video footage for some kind of a pilot type deal he's got going on. So I'm anxious to hear about that. Like pilot show.
Flying an airline?
No, not flying. Just like flying his nut
It's hard to
bunny.
do that smoking a cigarette on the couch.
No, he does some fun stuff. Nick Hall's awesome. But, Coach Kent Murphy should be joining us to
I love him, man.
walk us.
Nick knows I love him.
He's awesome, man. He's a big baseball fan, too. So.
He is. Well, who was it he got on the show? Was it Josh Donaldson? We were in, whose backyard were we in doing the Backyard Bourbon broadcast? Was it Sean Collinsworth's backyard? And he had somebody call in from Major League Baseball. I thought it was.
I remember that. I don't know where it was at,
I thought it was Josh Donaldson. Maybe it was somebody else. Can't remember. That was years ago.
It was years ago.
He's a good guy.
He is a good guy.
Nick
Funny guy.
Yeah,
So.
love Nick Hall.
That'll be fun. Yeah, Joe's Westfield next Thursday for Week 7 already, John. Week 7 coming up next week. We're talking Week 6 today, of course, but how time flies, man.
I am completely screwed on this because I don't like really 75% of my picks, I think, really suck today.
See, I love 75 of mine and hate 25. I'll be anxious to see how that all flips out. I think we're different on 6.
I was glad, though. I started out 0-2. I was unbeaten on Thursday night until last week, and then took my first L on Thursday night. But I hate these matchups this week. Other than the Colts, I like that a great deal, 7-point favorites. But, I mean, the 14 at Green Bay, sure, with a new quarterback who just got off the bus yesterday for the Bengals and Joe Flacco, but still 14's a big number. I don't like it. Like, I like the Colts. I like the Commanders at home, 4.5-point favorites over the Bears. The Steelers, 5.5 over the Browns, but not much more than that. And maybe the Cowboys, -3 as a road favorite in Carolina, but not much more than that. It's hard, I think. Week 6 is tough.
It is tough. And again, you look at a lot of things like how they played the week before. It's what the public's looking at, right? Who played, tonight's game, great example. We look and saw that the Giants, they come off a loss. So is Philly, but Philly's the superior team. 7 points, big number for a division rival in New York. It's going to be a tough. That game tonight's got me question marked. Again, you got it. I like Philly, but it could be Philly's not. They don't cover big numbers all the time. So it's going to be interesting. Hey, that's why they play. That's why we talk through it. We also say make sure you watch the the injury reports, because that's going to come into play in a couple of these games we're hanging on the end.
Yeah, no doubt about that, too. So, yeah, not much. Patriots, -3.5, I think, on the road at New Orleans, the way New England is playing right now. I think New England's going to be a challenger in the AFC when it's said and done, the way they're playing right now. Mike Vrabel, started out a little bit slow, obviously at home. You saw Geno Smith light him up in week number 1, but he's got them and Drake May playing incredibly well right now.
Really are.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs dialed in. That's hard to do.
Wasn't that pretty wild, though? I mean, you see that revenge game against your old team.
Yeah.
He came out and then, flashed some eyes, and he put up some numbers, man. He looked good. He looked real good.
Windschiller Spreadability, original sharp cheddar bacon and cheddar and jalapeno pepper. You can find that at your favorite grocer's refrigerator. I found that at Meijer. All the Meijer locations in central Indiana, they'll have the spreadability of Windschiller's. Gordon Food Service as well. If you see it at JMV 1070, send that to me on X in a picture, and I'll make sure everybody gets the spreadability of Windschiller's for the fall of 2025. Next week, Joe's Grill, Brent.
Joe's Grill Westfield next week, and we'll talk some spreadability there as well.
Phil's Dodgers, 6:08, about ready to start Dodger Stadium. The Phillies trying to stay alive. Who you got?
I think the Phillies might keep it close, and then they're going to win the game tonight. I think they're going to push it to 5.
Brewers, Cubs, similar situation. Game 4, Wrigley tonight.
Brewers wrap it up and take it on.
There you go. Brent Halverson,
hey, John,
Heaven Hill Distillery. My
pleasure.
brother, Dev, great job out of you. Isabella, Chad, Brittany were here. Oh, wow, you're right there. This is Isabella and Chad's right there in front of me. James back in the studio. Hey, we're at Sam's Silver Circle, Bud Light Blue Friday. I've got Cardinals Colts tickets for you tomorrow. We love Sam's Silver Circle with Bud Light. Tomorrow at 3, join us there. Legendary Sam's tomorrow at 3. 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.